the Madhouse. It's the Madhouse Maniacs. They're getting up on their feet. Mass chaos. Oh, he hits them. Climbing all over each other. Trouble. Every time you turn around, there's physicality. The fans are on their feet for a photo finish.
Winston-Salem, North Carolina, the home of NASCAR's greatest Coliseum.
We have action every Saturday night here at Bowman Gray Stadium.
Still the most exciting of all.
Big crash. Oh! This is Bowman Gray.
Welcome to the 1125th edition of racing at the famed Bowman Gray Stadium. We are down to the nitty-gritty. Just 4 weeks left to decide champions and settle scores. Tonight, the spotlight on the Fox 8100 for the modifieds in the Twin City of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It's night 13 of NASCAR racing in 2025 at the legendary quarter mile around a football field, and we are ready. I'm Bob Dillner. Alongside of me is Jacqueline Drake, and boy, do we have a great racing card here tonight.
We sure do, and we're at one of the most famous short tracks, Bowman Gray Stadium, for the NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series, and we've got a full slate up ahead. The street stocks are going to kick us off first with a 20-lap feature event, followed by the Sportsman feature number 1, 20 laps as well, and this is what all the race fans come for tonight. The modifieds, 100 laps on the deck, followed by the Sportsman feature number 2, 20, and a stadium stock 15 double lapper. Bob, Bowman Gray, here we go. We know it's always crazy here, and the drama, there's been plenty of it.
Absolutely, especially last week here in two different divisions. Let's start off with the Sportsman class, and that drama was in post-race tech. 4 drivers penalized after the Sportsman 100, 3 of them getting docked 40 points apiece, including your point leader, Chase Robertson. Zach Clifton stripped of his win. Sterling Plemons right there as well. And Zach Orr refused inspection, did not get the points deduction, but did get the DQ from the event. And then, by the way, the 5th place guy, Justin Taylor, he winds up winning the race. You talk about craziness. That certainly was after the checkers.
Yeah, and this is everything that the Bowman Gray fans were talking about on social media all week long. It was about the Sportsman division, and even just Zach Orr refusing tech within itself. This gave Justin Taylor a huge bump in the points with this win and then with the disqualifications, putting him second in the point standings right behind Chase Robertson, who's leading. That gap has closed up significantly between Chase and P2.
And think about it. Chase Robertson had a huge lead going into last week, and now it's just 18 points back for Donkey Strong Justin Taylor. So that 40-point deduction, very, very strong. Just to clarify, too, Zach Orr did get DQ, didn't get the points deduction. He refused to drop the oil pan on that car, and that's why he did indeed get the DQ. So plenty of drama there. How will that kind of come to tonight? That's the big question we're waiting to see with those twin features, but the Mighty Modifieds with a lot of drama as well. And drama has been the middle name for the Modifieds this year, especially between 2 people, Burt Myers and Mike Speeney. We were here in the second race of the year. I think Speeney took out almost the entire Myers family. There was a lot of debates about that. But then Burt Myers supposedly got Speeney back. Speeney vowed revenge. He got it last week.
Yeah, and that's always the case when it comes to racing, right? He said, pointing the fingers back and forth, and we're seeing that unfold, except here at Bowman Gray, people never forget. And so it continues to go week after week between these two. Talking to the drivers today, though, Mike Speeney said, if Burt's done, I'm done. I'm good. I want to move forward and focus on the wins. I have 3 so far this season. And then talking to Burt, I'm hands off. I want no drama. I just want to focus on winning. They both say that, but then we kind of see a bit of mixed emotions and quotes, should I say, from Mike Speeney throughout the year.
Yeah, and you look at what he posted on Facebook just this week, because last week he said, it's over. He kind of talked to us a little bit. It's over. But on Facebook, here's what he had to say. He said, I want to address when I said this is over. I will continue to do everything I can within the rules to ensure that the championship is decided by fair competition, not by reckless moves that go unchecked. And I asked Mike, what is he talking about? He said, listen, I said it was over, but I promised that I will do my part to make sure that Burt Myers does not win this championship. Brandon Ward has got a pretty good lead there, but if you look at it right now, Burt Myers second in the points chase. He's going to make sure that Burt does not win this championship.
Yeah, it's something quite interesting that has continued to unravel here. This championship, I don't want Burt to get it. We saw the billboard that went viral, championship denied. He doesn't want Burt to get the championship. And when you look at this gap, right, 52 points behind Brandon Ward, you could say that he is incapable of closing that gap. Brandon Ward would have to have a few bad nights or not be able to start a feature. And Bob, I believe there was there another billboard?
Another billboard that is after last week's rivalry, right? Rivalry victory for Mike Spini. This was posted on Route 52. So the second billboard comes out. I don't think this rivalry is done anytime soon. Great crowd on hand here tonight. You see the lines at the West Concessions right now. The Madhouse ready for action tonight here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
I'm a sinner. Help me to believe that with Christ, you're always a winner. Amen. Please remain standing as you are able, removing your caps and your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Madhouse, you know what they say, Saturday night's all right for racing, so please say it with me, let's go racing!
We are ready for racing as well. Jacqueline Drake and myself will have the call on all the divisions here tonight from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, night number 13 of the Bowman Gray season.
Starting 16th and shotgun on the field is TJ Whaley in the car number 19. Rolling off 15th, picked up his first career win last Saturday night. The car number 2 is Greg Hartland. Starting 14th, Coger in the car number 30. Starting 12th, car number 9 is Brandon Brown. Rolling off 11th is Emily Lewis in car number 4. Starting 10th, welcome back after a 3-week break, car number 8 is Tyler Staley. Starting 9th, the car number 99 is Brian Syke Jr., your points leader. Rolling off 8th, in the car number 6 is Chrissy Wallace. Starting 7th, the number 88 is
The Street Stocks now on the racetrack for the first event of the night. They will do battle for 20 laps. Let's take a look at the starting lineup here at Bowman Gray Stadium. Leading the field to the green flag, starting on the pole, the number 16 of Brad Lewis, third in points with one win so far this year. To his outside, Christian Joyce, fifth in points, the two-time and defending Street Stock champ.
Looking at row number 2 to the inside, the 05, it's Hayden Hall. And to that outside, second in points, it's the 13 of Kevin Gilbert.
Row number 3, starting fifth, the 00 of Donnie the Moose Martin, a two-time winner here at Bowman Gray Stadium, and a six-time winner starting outside. It's the 28 of Brian Sykes Sr.
Looking at row number 4 right here, we have the number 88 of Brian Shoup, and to that outside, the number 6 of Chrissy Wallace.
Starting ninth, the 99 of Brian Sykes Jr. He's your point leader with 2 wins this year. Kyler Staley makes a return after a 3-week suspension here tonight. He'll start 10th in the number 8.
In row number 6 to the inside, it's the number 4 of Emily Lewis, and to that outside, the number 9 of Brandon Brown.
Starting lucky number 13. If you're superstitious, they say that's not a good number, but it could be for Brian Robertson here tonight, trying to pick off his second win of the year. And Zach Kogar, best finish 6 so far this year in the 30. He'll start 14th.
Rounding out the field to the inside in row number 8, he got a win last week, his first one here at Bowman Gray. He's not so heartless, but it's the number 10 of Craig Heartless. And to that outside, we will find the number 19 of TJ Wally.
So that's your starting lineup here today for the Street Stocks at Bowman Gray Stadium. 20 laps will be the distance here, with Brad Lewis and Christian Joyce leading the field to the green flag. Lots of stories in this one. One of them, you mentioned her in the starting lineup. She's been part of the crowd here at Bowman Gray Stadium for the last few weeks. Chrissy Wallace in that number 6 machine, the first female to have ever won a race at the famed Hickory Motor Speedway.
Wow, that's amazing. I saw too that she's involved somehow with screen printing with Zach Staley. Is that right? Or she's a teammate of his?
She's a teammate with
Zach
Zach Staley.
some t-shirts for him online, which is awesome.
And Zach can sell himself some t-shirts,
Yeah,
I can tell you that.
Multi-talented over
Absolutely. Zach out for the season here in the Street Stock class, but certainly always a force to be reckoned with when he does grace this track. Let's take a look at the point standings coming into this one right here, because Sykes has been just so good in that 99 car. Got a 22-point advantage over Kevin Gilbert. The K-Train has been really working strong as of late.
Yeah, that's amazing by him. And we'll see, when you look at the points here at Bowman Gray, you might say, wow, 22 points back could be quite a bit. But things happen so fast at this short track that those gaps close up. As we talked about in the open of this show, when it came to the sportsman division, you never know what's going to happen, what a single disqualification could do, or even just a lap 1 wreck by these cars. So we'll see how it all sorts out right here. But Brian Sykes Jr. up at the front, that family team hoping to take home a championship.
Here's what's interesting. I mentioned Kevin Gilbert with his great finishes so far this year, driver of the number 13 machine. He's got 8 top 5s. His only finish outside the top 6, a 20th place mark just a few weeks ago. So that consistency certainly helping the K-Train.
Yeah, that's something that's really important in motorsports. And we even talk about consistency equaling momentum, and momentum leading to being able to take advantage when it comes to points or getting those great qualifying efforts and ultimately wins. So that's really what you need, and hats off to him, because that is a great stat.
So the Street Stocks, always a lot of fun to watch on this racetrack. And really, this is the Street Stock class, but they almost resemble the sportsmen with these good-looking cars, good-looking bodies on these machines.
Yeah, they really do. You walk through the pit area and you got a double take on which one's which when they have them all parked together there. But they're going to pace the field, or pace the track just a little bit. And it's quite a cooler day here at Bowman Gray. There's a cold front that blew through. It seemed like the entire East Coast and even down into Texas. So things might be a little bit different for how they set these cars up.
I asked a lot of the drivers today, do you ever remember in August an event here with 70-degree weather? All of them said absolutely not. We're talking about the veterans who have been here for like 30, 40 and 50 years. So first event of the night, we'll see how the street stocks tackle this cool night here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Lewis and Christian Joyce on the front row here. Both of those guys know how to win a race. Christian Joyce looking for his first victory of the season in this class at the two-time defending champ. He slips up a little bit on the start of this race.
Not a great start by the one, but it might be a caution coming out here as we have a spin in the back by the number 88 of Brian Shoup. But we're going to continue this green as they're going to come around and complete the first lap, the 16, continuing to lead as the caution flag flies.
Shoup will bring out the caution as he stalled very close to the racing surface in turn number 1, and that's why you see the caution flag. He wasn't trapped really in the center of the infield, so for a safety reason, the yellow flag does come out. First lap of this race, but right now, Brad Lewis, the leader of this one. Christian Joyce did not get that good start, man. He got on the throttle and spun those tires coming to the green flag.
Yeah, not what you want to do, especially in that front row, but didn't seem to get a lot of contact from behind, which sometimes results in that, Bob. But yeah, we're seeing right here, there's the 88 of Brian Shoup. Looks like everything is a go for them. He's just going to join the back of the field.
Yeah, Shoup with some sort of problem there. Stopped, brought out the caution. He'll go to the back now, but you talk about Christian Joyce. I think it's a big surprise that he has not won a race so far this year. He's been pretty consistent. He's contended a lot better as of late, but he's got 2 finishes in terms of where he is in the points that really hurt him outside the top 10. And these days, it's only like you got 1 mulligan to actually compete for a championship here. That's how tight the competition is.
Yeah, he's currently sitting 5th in the points standings, quite a few back, almost 100 points back from Brian Sykes Jr. We've got a stack up right now. They were showing 1 to go, but now we have a bit of a stack up on the back of the field, actually the whole back half of the field.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but just to paint the picture for you here, Staley kind of stopped there going into turn number 1. It looked like Brian Robertson got into the back of him a little bit, and they were jacked up to prevent us from going green. So we get the 1 to go this time by, and it appears like both cars are okay. Robertson gets his starting spot back.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of a debate there with the 8. Seems a little bit unhappy just with kind of how he's driving, but we'll see. We will see when we get back around.
The Staleys are emotional. You know, that's what it is. I mean, we call a fact as a fact here. So now we come back to the line. 2 laps complete in this one. 20 laps will be the distance. Brad Lewis will come around to the restart zone off of turn number 4. He fires, and we are green.
Much better restart by the number 1 of Christian Joyce right there, all the way on the back bumper of the 16. Going to look to the outside now on the back stretch and get down low as they head into turns 3 and 4.
Had a little mishap there. Donnie the Moose Martin got the front bumper of Chrissy Wallace, and that sent him sliding. He was able to recover that car and join in with the field.
Yeah, we're looking at, too, a little bit of contact further back with the 00 of Donnie Martin. Getting a little bit of sideways center of the corner there as he's going to get a shot from behind.
So both ladies in the street stock race here with a little bump on Donnie Martin. And this time he does go around off of turn number 4, and that will bring out the caution. So Chrissy Wallace got him first, and then Emily Lewis got him. And that time it resulted with him spinning.
Hey, a little bit of girl power.
That's right. And hey, you know all about this track, having gotten behind the wheel. I was just talking to Ben Brown today. Oh, man, I remember when Jacqueline got behind the wheel of one of Tim's cars. What was that experience like?
Driving a mod is unlike anything else, because I came from late models, you know, Bob, and so they're so low to the ground and grippy and so fast and powerful. Very cool. I've been on the NASCAR Wheel and Modified Tour all summer, so getting up close and personal with the ground pounders. Very cool cars. Love to drive them. We got the 1 to go flag, though, this time by. Let's see what's going to happen. I'm very curious, Bob. We've got a lot of action happening all throughout this field.
Well, Donnie Martin has been basically the ping pong ball in this race so far. So he's at the back of the field, right behind Shoup in the 88. So both of those guys that have brought out caution still at the back of the field. Brad Lewis will bring it around. 15 laps to go in this one to settle the score in the street stock class.
Great restart by the 16 of Brad Lewis. Not so great, though, for Joyce, that number 1, compared to the last one as they head out to the backstretch. Quite a gap between second and third. Looking at the first and second place trying to take away.
I'm looking at the battle for third. Oh, my. How about the K-Train? All sorts of sideways coming off of turn number 4. And right now, Chrissy Wallace about to lose a position as well as she gets a little bit of a nudge.
Not afraid to use the bumper in this division at all to get around. You don't want to get on that outside because you'll get freight train. You'll see right there Wallace now being the victim as several cars going by her.
Yeah, the two Sykes go by, and now Robertson trying to file into the inside of that 6 machine. More contact down in 3 and 4. Chrissy Wallace fighting for all it's worth on the outside.
Certainly trying to get down, and she will right there in front of Kyler Staley. But has the damage already been done, or can she work her way up?
Big lead right now for Brad Lewis. The number 16 leads this show with Christian Joyce in second. Then a huge gap, about a half a straightaway back to the 0-5 of Hayden Hall. And it appeared as for a while as Hayden was holding up the K-Train in fourth, but Hayden Hall holding his own.
Yeah, you can see the 26-2 not shown right now on screen. Brian Sykes Jr. giving contact. Further on back to the field, we have a spin. Caution is out for the number 4 of Emily Lewis.
So Emily Lewis used the front bumper, and then there, don't know if she got a shot from behind, but we're halfway through this one, just past the halfway point of this 20-lap feature. Emily Lewis now will have to go to the rear of the field for this restart. So in this one, it's Brad Lewis in first. Second is Christian Joyce. Third place, Hayden Hall in that 0-5. The 13 of Kevin Gilbert in that 4th spot. And then rounding out the top 5, the 28 of Brian Sykes Sr.
I'll tell you what, Bob, we're seeing a masterclass of these drivers not losing control of their cars, even with all of this contact. Let's see the replay here of Emily Lewis and the contact that ensued.
So Emily Lewis and then Staley right behind. And it looks like she got a little bit loose, and then a little bit of contact on that back bumper finished off the job.
Yeah, once you get around like that, it doesn't take much.
So the team cars, Staley and Chrissy Wallace now running together. We're coming back to the restart. Brad Lewis and Christian Joyce. Good restart there for Christian Joyce. He's hungry for the win. Lewis already has the win this year. Christian Joyce does not. K-Train has trouble. Kevin Gilbert stumbles coming off of turn number 2. And then Chrissy Wallace pays him the price down in 3. Gets into him. He spins. And then another hard hit as well for the K-Train.
There was nowhere to go for the 30 of Zach Kogar as we saw the spin happen and then just slammed right into it. Unfortunate. It's really torn up that 30, and you mentioned it, the 00, Donnie Martin involved as well.
And this is a big thing too, because you consider right now coming into this race, he was sitting pretty good in the street stock point standing, second, 22 points back, but that is a badly mangled race car for Kevin Gilbert. He had himself a pretty good run going in the top 5. Sykes, the point leader, was a little bit further back, and now all that has gone by the wayside.
It really looked like something broke the way that he moved to the outside, trying to get out of the way, and had slowed significantly. You can see right here, heartbroken, he's going to just walk straight over and off the racetrack, actually. I thought he might go over to talk to the record driver, but no, back to the pit area.
And you know from being a race car driver, that is a tough walk, because you know if you take a look at him and where he was in points and the consistency that he has showed this year, your season is done. For the most part, you can go after wins, but that hope of the championship might be destroyed tonight for Kevin Gilbert.
Yeah, you talked about how close the points were, and we alluded to it earlier. I don't know if that if it's currently a sad walk or a mad walk, right? Because every step back to your trailer, you're just like, those are the heaviest steps you've ever taken, knowing that your entire season just ended when it comes to the championship battle. So what a heartbreaker for Kevin Gilbert. Lots of damage on that number 13. It wasn't actually so bad until the 30 hit him because he just had gone around. But they're going to continue to do the cleanup work over in turn 3.
Wow. And I think it was a little bit of both sad and mad.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at what happened. The K-Train gets a little bit of a nudge there by Chrissy Wallace, goes around and watch the punch right there. Wow.
Yeah. It wasn't it was not that bad until the 30 came around, and again, nowhere for him to go. So it's just one of those things. Wrong place, wrong time, right, Bob? You'll see the track crew doing a great job. One of the tracks that does the quickest and best cleanup job right here at Bowman Gray. They know how to get it done pretty quick, and they're going to put down the speedy drive and get this car off the track.
So while they clean this up, and there is considerable cleanup in turns 3 and 4, we'll take a quick break and come back with the conclusion of the street stocks in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Do you hear that sound and do you see that blue light on our video board? It's time for the Domino's Blue Light Special, and if you're one of the first 15 fans to arrive at the program sales station located on the concourse near the south gate between turns 1 and 2, and you're not a previous winner, and you will win a redeemable for one large 4-topping pizza from Domino's. Be sure to listen each week for the sights and sounds of the Domino's Blue Light Special, and you could be a winner. Domino's is locally owned and operated in Forsyth and Davidson counties. Be sure to visit a Domino's in your hometown or enjoy one of their pizzas here tonight by visiting the east or west concession stand. Madhouse, make a little noise!
Chris, K-Train Kevin Gilbert just got going down back to pits. Man, tough night. He came into the night second place in the points. Still got plenty of time, 3 more weeks after tonight, but not a good night for K-Train.
I talked to him earlier in the pit area, and he was really excited about his position in the point standings. And he clearly said that it's, the luck of the draw to start with and how everything pans out. But little contact between him and the 6 car and the car tonight.
Choice Tire and Automotive is a full-service auto repair shop and your #1 source for tires and wheels in Kernersville, North Carolina. They offer a variety of automotive services to keep your vehicle rolling on the road and off. Choice Tire and Automotive offers check engine light repair and diagnostics, oil changes, brake repairs, alignments, balancing, rotations, and general automotive repairs. They bring the best quality service possible in everything they do, and their team is committed to providing the best workmanship and customer experience possible. Choice Tire and Automotive's hours are Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. till 5 p.m. Give Choice Tire and Automotive a call at 336-992-9002 and let them take care of your tire and automotive service needs.
Eight to go in the street stock class. First feature of the night at Bowman Gray Stadium, live on Flow Racing. I am Bob Diller. Alongside of me is Jacqueline Drake. And how about this guy? What a week last week. Picking up his first feature event win is Craig Hartless. And a good run for him here tonight. He's solidly in the top 10, running in that A spot. But here's a guy that a lot of people love seeing getting that win finally last week.
Yeah, it was a really sweet moment watching it on the broadcast. His whole family running down and congratulating him. Being able to mark off a win, especially here at Bowman Gray, at such a historic place is so special, and that there's nothing sweeter than the first one.
Do you remember your first win?
No.
No.
I was 6. I was 6. I don't remember. But I remember some of my early trophies, you know. Those are cool.
Do you still have some of them?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. They're in the attic at my parents' house in Texas.
There you go. That's where trophies often wind
the
up.
attic, yes.
I think they might be adjusting the wheel and lights on top of that pace car right now. I believe that's what they were doing, and they're still cleaning up from that mishap and that hard hit down in the corner to bring out this most recent caution. And just in case you're just tuning in right now, it affects the second place point driver coming into this one, with Kevin Gilbert getting a little nudge from Chrissy Wallace, sent him around, and then Kogar just with a hard hit on that number 13.
Yeah, that was a wild, hard hit. We're getting a 2 to go signal next door to us, the tower. Quite interesting tower setup here at Bowman Gray. Y'all don't get to see much of it from the broadcast angle, but it's all glass. So the walls actually side to side. We can see race control all the way down to the suites. Yeah, cool setup.
We do high fives when they
through
the glass when they give us some information. You see the damage on the right front of Chrissy Wallace's car. That's certainly, she's made contact with a couple of different drivers in this race here tonight, but that most significant damage came from that contact with Kevin Gilbert, as Kevin was struggling a little bit and running on the outside. Whatever happened to him off of turn number 2 had a significant factor into that contact that we saw down in turn 3.
Yeah, this is when I wish we had a pit reporter, because I'd love to know what it was that that had broke on that car, as we saw him slow significantly and attempt to get out of the way as the field came around underneath him.
That's what you're usually doing on the NASCAR Wheel and Modified Tour, getting the booth those reports.
Yeah. Not tonight, buddy. Not tonight.
You're not enjoying for the first time this summer the AC. It is actually cold up here in the booth on a 70-degree day in North Carolina in the middle of August.
Yeah, you got your beanie on.
All right, here we go. Get back to racing. Brad Lewis still in control of this race over Christian Joyce. Can Joyce, sideways as he stands on the gas, coming back to the green.
If only he can get a good restart time after time. Shot from behind, though, from Joyce to that 16. Wanting to get that win over Lewis. Headed into turns 3 and 4. Trying to close the gap a little bit. Doesn't really happen. Lewis shoots off from turn 4 as they complete that lap.
I'm enjoying watching that number 1 car, because it is a handful, and we got contact behind that. Hayden Hall goes around. There was contact with Brian Sykes Sr. We'll have to take a look at that one. And by the way, also involved last week's winner, the number 10 car of Craig Hartless, 8th in points, and he's sitting the wrong way in the middle of 1 and 2.
Yeah, I didn't see that contact. I don't know if that was to try to avoid the wreck up front when the 0-5 of Hayden Hall spun, but nobody clobbered the side of anybody else. So we learned from the last caution at least, but can't see any damage. We'll zoom in right there. The 10 looks okay from this standpoint.
What's getting interesting here is you see Hayden Hall on the racetrack, but that number 99 machine, who is your point leader, Brian Sykes Jr., is now up to 4th place. So that's going to be interesting here, because he's already got himself a pair of wins on the season going for number 3. Let's take a look at what happened down here. There is Sykes getting into Hayden Hall, just sends that 0-5 car around, and then everybody else trying to check up behind that, and that's why we saw a couple of other cars involved.
You know, Bob, I want to say that this might be because of the weather. Yeah, I see right there the 0-5 does get a little bit loose. I'm seeing a lot of race cars that are loose tonight in this field. Yeah. So even just a tad bump from behind is going to send them around. And
you would say normally that these guys that are in this race, all of the drivers would be gaining more grip, usually with cooler temperatures. So what's interesting is that can get counteracted by how you guess what your setup should be. So maybe Christian Joyce guessed a little differently than his car is looking like here tonight, and that might be why he's loose around this track. So coming back to the restart, we still have 6 laps to go in a very caution-filled race. Brad Lewis over Christian Joyce, then Sykes, and then Robertson, your top 5.
Great restart by the one that time by, and didn't slam into the back to the 16, taking it just a step back, going to turn 3 and 4, making headway. Seems to get a little bit more traction right there, followed by the 28.
Staley goes around in turn number 4, making his return to competition, and the caution does come out once again. So Staley, not sure exactly what happened there. Hayden Hall also stopped on the front stretch. He's getting a push now by the 88 machine going into turn number 1. So Shoop trying to get Hayden Hall going once again.
Interesting. They're getting a little help from behind there. Oh, getting a push to the pit area, it looks like. The 05.
Let's take a look at the replay here.
Oh, they're stuck together.
Interesting. Here's Staley. Staley looked like he might have gotten a little help by Emily Lewis. And by the way, quite the story between the both of those drivers. Remember earlier in this race, maybe Staley got into Emily Lewis and there was a mishap there, maybe a little payback here. But remember, about a month ago here, both of those drivers and the entire family is basically getting into it. Let's just say I don't think they like each other that much right now.
So you're saying that that might have been a coincidence,
but
maybe not?
Maybe not. Who knows? But definitely, yes. Only they know. We can only call what we see and know that they do have some history from about a month ago that resulted in some suspensions for both of those drivers. Back to the green we go. Brad Lewis, Emily's dad, out front. Second place, Christian Joyce, and then the Sykes team. Oh, look at this. Brian Sykes pulls over and allows Junior to get by.
That was not obvious.
Little Formula One move right there.
No kidding.
So is there enough time for Junior to get up there and contend for this win? And I believe Senior, his car was a little bit ill on that last restart. He was sideways, so maybe he thinks his son's got a better race car. Let him go after that win. Can he close the gap on the top 2 who have been very strong here in the last, coming to 2 laps to go in this race?
Yeah, certainly. Brad Lewis is continuing to show out and gain more traction each lap, increasing that gap between him and Christian Joyce despite all of these restarts. This time by white flag is going to fly for the number 16.
Christian Joyce maybe has one more shot, but that 4-wheel slide there is going to hurt him going down in turn number 3. Don't think he's going to get to the back bumper. Yellow flag comes out. How about that? Emily Lewis brings out the caution when her dad was just about to win the race.
If you're Brad Lewis right now, you're sitting in your seat behind that helmet saying, I was almost there.
Listen here, Emily.
He might be telling his spotter, tell her I was about to win this race.
But you also got to wonder, was there contact with Emily Lewis that sent her around as well?
Yes.
We've seen the 8 and the 4 get together a couple of times in this one, but 1 lap to go until we go back to green. And I believe it's going to be there it is.
Looks like it might have been on her own because she was just kind of out on the outside, maybe got into the marbles a bit.
Staley had to swerve to get around her to not make contact. So green, white together here is what we're going to see. So 1 more lap of competition, 1 more chance for the number 1 to get to number 1.
Very curious to see, and also if this is going to open up something for the 99.
Maybe the Red Seas will part for Sykes, the point leader, who rides 3rd in this restart. Green and white out together. Christian Joyce tries to get to the back bumper, can't quite get there, pushes off the corner, and now it looks like the 16 of Brad Lewis has got control of this one. Papa Lewis scores his second victory of the year. The street stock winner on night number 13 at Bowman Gray. Christian Joyce is second. Sykes Jr. in third. Fourth, Sykes Sr. And it looks like Robertson in the 72 will round out the top 5.
Great job by the 16 of Brad Lewis. Every restart executed, every lap continuing to hold that lead despite the pressure from behind. And tonight it will mark his 8th career win, which ties Mac Little for 26th in the street stock win list.
Brad Lewis, good dude, loves Bowman Gray. His entire family comes here each and every week. They got a little camp over there just off of turn number 3 where they pit. And, you know, sometimes it's a little drama-filled. But at the same time, you race because you want these checkered flags. They don't do it for the money, for sure. So tonight, Brad Lewis back to victory lane at Bowman Gray Stadium. Pretty impressive. Green to checker victory for him, holding off one of the best street stock competitors over the last several years, Christian Joyce.
Absolutely. You'll see him celebrating. I love here they always do a victory lap when they get that checkered flag, and they take their moment and go around and wave at every single fan all the way around this course as he'll come up to the front straightaway and celebrate with his family.
And the first person that's going to congratulate Brad Lewis is his daughter, Emily Lewis. She's going to lean into the window and say, congratulations on another win. I know Emily, you know, she's got that one career win, wants some more. Tonight was certainly not her night with some contact, you know, throughout this race. But tonight, her dad will celebrate in Victory Lane. Let's go downstairs to Victory Lane here at Bowman Gray Stadium.
Here, Brad Lewis. Let him hear it, race fans. Getting a hug from daughter Emily. Brad, congratulations. Win number 2 on the season. Tell you what, on these restarts, Christian will get right up to your bumper, but it's some good, clean racing.
He's tough. When you know when he's behind you, he's going to run you clean. You don't have to worry about it. He's a good competitor. I wouldn't care if either one of us won the race. I love that guy that much. First of all, I got to say thank you to Dylan Ward. A lot of controversy with tires this week. These tires ain't soaked. I promise you, you take them and check them, and the Dylan Ward prep. I'm telling you. So, also, I got to thank Radical Fire Protection, Right Choice Plumbing, Just Chillin' Lawn Care, Tri-County Real Estate, Ceramic Pro, Unlimited Services, Velocita, Just Chillin' Services, Washington Park, Austin Inman, Fast Faith, my buddy Malachi, LNS Planning. I'm sorry, I got a lot of sponsors. I'm sorry. Carolina Heritage Vineyard and Winery. And shout out, we had a baby born this week in the circle. This is for Larson. And my little buddy, where's he at? My little buddy, who's my buddy? The one with the little kid. Malachi, but I got another one. I'm drawing a blank. I just won a race, man.
Congratulations on win number 2. Brad Lewis heading over to the Carolina One Floors Winner's Circle to pick up a winner's trophy.
So Brad Lewis celebrates in Victory Lane, his second win of the season. We got the sportsman class coming up next year at Bowman Gray Stadium.
Courtesy of Chick-fil-A, Three-Way Shopping Center, and their sponsorship, the Sweet Taste of Victory Award. It's time now for the first 20-lapper for the Los of the John Barrow Sportsman Series. 18 competitors. They drew for their starting position. Running off 18th and shotgun on the field is Chase Lewis in the car number 11. Starting 17th is Howard Kepley in car number 8. A.J. Burness in the car number 24 will roll off 16th. Starting 15th is the car number 0 of Kurt Sheets. Rolling off 14th, car number 15 is G. Dawson. Starting 13th
Car number 17 is Robbie Brewer. Running off 8, driving car number 23 is Dylan Ward. Starting 7 is the 03 of Sterling Clemens. Running off 6, the number 88 is Zach Taylor. Starting 5th, ultimately declared the winner of last Saturday night's 100 lap was the number 12 of Justin Taylor. Starting 4th, car number 55 of Zach Orr. Rolling off 3rd, you're accustomed to seeing him in the straight stock division, number 24. Not tonight, he's in the number 1 sportsman car, it's Austin Jones. Now your front row.
Rusty Wallace here. Invite you to join me on the Sturgis Buffalo Chips Rusty Wallace Charity Ride, presented by Harley-Davidson on Friday, August the 8th during the 85th Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. Ride with me and my friends on a route I personally selected through the beautiful Black Hills of South Dakota. You also have a chance to win a custom-designed Harley-Davidson built by Southern Country Customs. All proceeds from the ride and auction will benefit the NASCAR Foundation and Special Olympics of South Dakota. Sign up now and reserve your spot today at rustywallaceride.com.
As always, a good crowd on hand here at Bowman Gray Stadium with all the fans watching their favorite drivers and among the best classes in the business. Certainly the NASCAR Sportsman Division here at Bowman Gray. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for this one. On the point, scheduled to lead the field to the green flag. We understand he might go to the rear on this one. The 77 of Jeff Snow. And to his outside, the number 38 of Mitch Gales. One win already to his credit just a few weeks ago here at Bowman Gray.
And looking into that row number 2 to the inside, we have the number 1 of Austin Jones, and to the outside, who is part of the controversy last week and the defending champion in this division, it's the 55 of Zach Orr.
The benefactor of all that controversy in post-race tech is the gentleman that starts fifth, the 12 of Justin Taylor, now second place in points. Zach Taylor on the outside of row number 3 in the Little Donuts, 88.
The Little Donuts. And looking into row number 4 on the inside, from Winston-Salem, we have the 03 of Sterling Clemens. And then to his outside, it's the 23. Everyone knows him. It's Dylan Ward.
Robbie Brewer on the inside of row number 5. He'll start 9th in that 17 car. And the 21 of 55-time winner in this division. 5th in points for the Tiger, Tommy Neal in the 21.
Looking at the row number 6, the points leader, it's the 31 of Chase Robertson. And to that outside, the 63 of Terry Smith.
Making her return to racing here at this track, the number 2 of Amber Lynn, 12 wins in this division, and T. Dawson, the golfer, in the 15, starts 14.
Rounding out this field in row number 8, the 0 of Kirk Sheets, to the outside, the 24 of A.J. Bernies, and then Kyler Kepley and Chase Lewis to close this out as we'll come around and take the green flag.
Jeff Snow to the rear, so that means Austin Jones on the point for this one. Austin does not fire, and the yellow flag comes out, but several cars marred in a mishap and a chain reaction right behind that. So Austin Jones, the converted street stock competitor, coming over to the sportsman class, making his first start here this year in the sportsman class, and starts on the pole for this one.
Pressure's on, buddy. Welcome to this division. Oh, all right.
They are not ready.
No, we had a little bit of debris on the front stretch. They're going to get the field line backed up and make sure they got everything clear, and they do.
And I believe that debris might be from the 03 car of Sterling Clemens. I saw he was made contact with, or maybe behind that as well, maybe Robbie Brewer. Anyway, we'll keep an eye on that. But the second time, let's see how it goes for Austin Jones and Mitch Gales on the front row. Austin Jones races down into turn number 1 and grabs the lead. A little sideways. Here comes Donkey Strong. Taylor in the number 12. He moves to second.
Yeah, and don't be amiss, too. Right behind him, there's the 55 of Zach Orr, who's made his way up to P3 down on the inside. Going to come right up behind the number 12. Jumped over a few of those turtles there, Bob, as they'll head into turns 3 and 4.
Mitch Gale's struggling. That car not wanting to turn. A little contact with the rock star Sterling Plemons. Plemons loses his rear bumper.
We've got debris all over the place. The caution flag will fly as it looks like we've got an entire nose right up here on the front stretch from a little bit of contact started with Mitch Gale's, and then domino effect on the last 4 cars right behind him, and that is, yes, the 17. The nose of the 17 is gone. Robbie Brewer, they've taken that and put it behind the flag stand.
So Christian Joyce, that car looked a little mean, a little bit sideways, sometimes not wanting to turn, but definitely a good story coming into this week is the driver of that number 2 machine, Amber Lynn, and there's the damage to Brewer's machine on the front end, and that car is hopping like a bunny on the racetrack right now. Just kind of mangled on the front end of that machine, who has been involved in both mishaps in the opening laps of this race. But there is Amber Lynn making a return. First start of the season here with the sportsman class at Bowman Gray Stadium. Had a mishap at South Boston Speedway in a crate modified, very rough incident, but she's overcome that now, making her return. We mentioned the 12 sportsman wins for Amber Lynn at this racetrack, 15-time overall winner at the Madhouse. She is always a force to be reckoned with when she's on this racetrack.
She really is, and she has built a huge fan base right here at Bowman Gray. Fans were so excited when she announced on social media she would be returning to the Madhouse and that she was cleared by doctors to do so. So back in the seat tonight, underneath that iconic number 2, Amber Lynn is here in Winston-Salem.
And I'm still pretty impressed with Austin Jones having the opportunity to win a race, but he's got some stout competition behind him coming back to this restart. 3 laps in, Austin Jones all out in front, but he's got Justin Taylor and Zach Orr right behind him.
He's doing a great job at these restarts, but yes, right behind him, Justin Taylor shot from behind from Zach Orr into the wall to that number 12.
Taylor, all sorts of sideways in 3 and 4, able to save it. Zach Orr, I think, didn't expect Taylor to lift at that part of the corner. We got debris down in turn number 2. So we got some more body up against the retaining wall in turn number 2, and that brings out the caution. But an interesting move, and think about that. Put yourself back in the driver's seat. I believe that one, Justin Taylor lifting to set up his corner. Zach Orr thought maybe he was going to drive in just a little bit deeper.
Yeah, that was a wild hit. I'm surprised the 12 was able to save his car and the position. He has his hand out right now. Is he not wearing gloves? Is he not? I don't know. It looks interesting there. It might just be yellow gloves. And they talk about the reason it caught my eyes because they always say not to wear light-colored gloves because then people can see kind of where you are with the steering wheel. They look yellow, right? Yeah, okay, we're good. We're good here. But I'm just surprised the 12 was able to save that.
Yeah, it was an impressive move. It was like a dirt car move, honestly. He was in a 4-wheel drift, and maybe he can star in the next Fast and Furious movie. Who knows? Because that was a great piece of driving. So Austin Jones still a remarkable effort so far. Only 5 laps in, so we don't want to overstate it. But he's a talented guy with 2 wins in the street stocks this year. But as we said, Taylor, Orr, Gales, and Robertson behind him. Jones able to get the lead. Donkey Strong is there in that black car right behind him. Zach Orr in the 55, Mitch Gales, who won just a few races ago, in the 38, and Chase Robertson, who was the most affected by the penalties post-race tech. Huge lead, now down to the teens for him over the man that actually drives in second right now.
Yeah, every position matters, especially coming off of last week and what happened. We have a lot of close calls, though, in this entire top 5. You can throw a blanket over them. The 55 is going to peek to the 12, but he can't make that pass just yet. It's not time. And let's see what they do here going down into turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, Justin Taylor is going to have to move Austin Jones, because right now Zach Orr is hungry. He wants his 4th victory of the season for the 55 car. But Taylor, he's actually won 2 100-lap races here. Ironically, one after post-race tech last week, and one was called short earlier in his career, 96 laps because of rain.
Take them where you can get them, right? A win is a win. 55, another shot to the 12 right there. We're going to get the halfway flags this time by.
I think this is exactly what Austin Jones wants. Let the guys behind him battle, and a little nudge, and then Taylor all over the place. Zach Orr gets by. Taylor tries to get revenge. Donkey Strong into the back bumper of the 55. Oh, man. We got a melee down in turns 1 and 2 as well. Whew.
Man.
AJ Burness in that red and yellow number 24 car involved, as is Chase Lewis in a good-looking silver, black, and green car.
Yeah, off camera here, I saw the 55 and the 12 exchanging hand motions to each other. That was a sequence of events that unfolded right there. When the 55 came around the 12, it caused Chase Robertson to get into the back of, I believe it was the 38 of Mitch Gale. So domino effect as they were trying to avoid Justin Taylor into the wall again on the backstretch.
Put your helmet on. What did you think about what occurred? If you're Justin Taylor.
Oh, yes. And now if I'm Justin Taylor, I'm lining up behind the guy that just put me into the wall twice. I'm not going to be so nice to him, right?
Jacqueline, you could be mean.
Hey, you know, you got the helmet on. It's
That's
totally
right.
different personality.
Exactly. The emotions certainly rise. And we are one lap from getting back to green flag and seeing if any retaliation happens between the 12 of Justin Taylor and the 55 of Zach Orr. If I were Zach Orr, I'd want to run and hide right now. And Zach, we've seen the aggression. Maybe he'll be the one to put the bumper to the leader, Austin Jones.
Yeah.
Austin Jones in the restart zone. He fires. Zach Orr trying to go to the inside on this initial restart. He was just barely there. Gets into the left rear quarter panel of the number 1. Orr's got the run going down into the corner. Remember, first sportsman race for Austin Jones, and Zach Orr, one of the kingpins of this division, going for the lead. He's got the preferred line. Zach Orr to the lead here in the sportsman division.
This is a nail biter right here. As you'll see, the 55 is going to take the lead, but Justin Taylor wants to get around that 1 as well. A little bit of contact right there. Going into turns 1 and 2, the 12 wants to do everything they can to close that gap. He's got his eyes set on the leader right now. He just has to get behind or away from Austin Jones.
Poor Austin Jones. He's got a bunch of bumpers hitting him from the back. First from Zach Orr, now from Justin Taylor, but he's been able to hold strong. He's been able to get that run up off the corner to just keep Justin Taylor at bay for second.
Yeah, and don't look now, Bob, but Amber Lynn has made her way up to that 6th position, coming from 13th in this field. Quite a showing already, as she'll look to the inside, doesn't able to complete it right there, the 31 of Chase Robertson. Contact all throughout this entire top 6.
Yeah, Chase Robertson certainly cut down on her a little bit to protect that spot. And Amber Lynn, a little tap to the back bumper of the 31 to say, hey, I'm going to remember that. Don't do that again. Chase Robertson being held up a little bit by Gales in the 38, who is all sorts of out of shape around this racetrack.
It's hard to see from the broadcast right now, but the 31 appears either to be overheating or in an intense tire rub. You'll see a little bit of smoke coming out from the right front of that car. White flag flies, though, now for the 55 of Zach Orr.
Big lead for Zach Orr. Battle still on for second. Jones trying to hold off Taylor off of turn number 4. The 55 of Zach Orr picks up his 4th victory of the season in the sportsman class at Bowman Gray Stadium. And first time competitor in the sportsman class this year, Austin Jones, holds on for second. And look at this, a little bit of talk between Justin Taylor and maybe some fingers pointing at Zach Orr. Taylor not going to forget that mishap between the two of them.
It almost makes me wonder, because they have to go to tech now, Bob. Did Justin Taylor want that second position so badly that given something else happened in Tech again with the 55, then he would be the next up.
Plus, you're just closer to the car in front of you that you want to
Yeah,
yell at.
well, there's
And
that
remember,
too.
you're not supposed to go to another person's, pit stall or wherever their car is, but impressive run by Zach Orr. He was very aggressive. His 25th career win, that ties him with Max Barrier for 51st on the all-time win list in the sportsman class.
I have to say, I didn't get to mention this at the top of the feature, but when I walked over to Zach's pit area today, there was a tiny Jesus, a little pocket Jesus that another competitor had left on the back of his car. He said, I'm going to need it tonight. We think we're going to super glue it back there. So I don't know if they actually did, but lots of personality and things happening all through the pit areas.
Certainly a little bit of faith and a little bit of good luck tonight for Zach Orr, a lucky charm going to victory lane here as he's done so many times in his career. His team heading down there. I love the red scheme on Zach Orr's car. I remember asking him earlier this year, why'd you change to red? He goes, I like to give my fans something different to look for and get a different scheme every single year of competition. Chris Carter down there in victory lane as Zach Orr climbs out.
You was on a mission. You told us. You've been saying it. Here we are in victory lane. Tell us about it, my friend.
Yeah, we had a rough last week. I tried to run it as clean as I could. I got in adjusted a little bit on the backstretch. We hooked bumpers. I didn't mean to wreck him at all. I hope he saved it. But car's on a rail. It's rolling good through the corners. I got to thank all my people that sponsors. Want to thank Paul Spock. Joe was over there this week helping us out at Cardinal Plumbing. I told him you can jump in his car and practice if you want to. He didn't want to do it. Colby's Home Improvement. Amanda Tucker, come on board. Thank you for everything. Quality Glass, I forgot him last time. I can't forget him this time. And everybody helps us out. I can't thank him enough.
Way to go, bud. Good job, Zach.
Thank you, sir.
Zach Orr with the win in the first of the Twin 20s for the sportsman class. Next up, modifieds here, 100 laps at Bowman Gray.
Thank you, Chris. Back is over to the Carolina Wood Floors winner's circle to pick up the winner's hardware. Carolina Wood Floors, open your doors to beautiful floors. Carolina Wood Floors. Are you ready for some Madhouse Bowman Gray modified racing? It's time to introduce to you the starting lineup for the Fox 8 WGP 100. Starting 25th, shotgun on the field. He was your fastest qualifier. He said yes to the fans' challenge. The Nebraska Golf Cars, Wahlberg Grill Chevrolet out of Warburg, number 75, Upwee Jeffrey. Starting 24th, he also took the fans' challenge. He's in the Hodges Realty, Perkins and Associates Chevrolet from Mount Airy. It's the showstopper, Chris Fleming, in number 16. Starting 23rd, he also took the fans' challenge. He's in the Citrus 8 Cleaners, Pinnacle Financial Partners, Formula One, and Cubs, the number 1 at Front Tires. Starting 22nd in the Surrey Chemical, Tamarama Park Chevrolet from Mount Airy, the 99 of the Crab, William E. Smith. Starting 21st in the Brass Golf Cars, Gordon Radiator Chevrolet from Jonesville, the number 77 of Susan Harwell. Rolling off 20th into Tobacco Ridge, Clearing, Grading, and Septic, Kittles at Southern Farm Chevrolet from Walnut Cove, the number 9 of Kyle Southern. Starting 19th in the Inspire Dental Care, Garage Doors of the Riot Chevrolet from Walker Towns with 07 of Riley Neal. Rolling off 18th in the M&M Transport Precision Built Fender Chevrolet from Curtisville to 44 of Daniel Beeson. Starting 17th in the Jerry Hunt Supercenter, Hayes Chevrolet from Tobaccoville P83.
Choice Tire and Automotive is a full-service auto repair shop and your #1 source for tires and wheels in Kernersville, North Carolina. They offer a variety of automotive services to keep your vehicle rolling on the road and off. Choice Tire and Automotive offers check engine light repair and diagnostics, oil changes, brake repairs, alignments, balancing, rotations, and general automotive repairs. They bring the best quality service possible in everything they do, and their team is committed to providing the best workmanship and customer experience possible. Choice Tire and Automotive's hours are Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. till 5 p.m. Give Choice Tire and Automotive a call at 336-992-9002 and let them take care of your tire and automotive service needs.
In the East Coast Wings, Terry Hunt Super Center car from Concord, number 14 is Trey Hutchins.
Well, we're back to what Bowman Gray was born on. NASCAR modifies around a quarter mile. And we're going to see a great race here tonight for 100 laps. Let's take a look at the starting lineup of this one. And they all drew for starting position here. This is not by time, no invert or whatever. This was purely by a draw here earlier today. On the point for this one, three-time winner here at Bowman Gray Stadium out of Concord, North Carolina. It's Bobby Meismer Jr. To his outside, 4 times a winner in 100-lap races for modifieds, the number 5 of Randy Butner.
In row number 2 to the inside is the number 39 of Gerald Robinson. And to that outside, it's the 04 of Brandon Ward.
Starting on the inside of row number 3, starting 5th, the 3-car of Andrew Hara had himself a good run a couple of weeks ago for the first half of one of the races. We'll see what he can do here tonight. And then Slate Myers, 4th gen of the Myers family in the number 6, will start 6th.
Looking at row number 4 right now, we have the inside of 69 of John Holloman. And to that outside, the number 12, it's Dean Ward.
Row number 5 on the inside, Jason Myers, 42 times a winner in NASCAR modified competition here at the Madhouse. And to his outside, Trey Hutchins, running a 2008 car that his dad Bobby ran back in the day.
And how about row number 6, the number 00 Flying Taco, although tonight he wants to be a flying quesadilla. It's Danny Probst. And to the outside, we talked about him at the top of the show. He's been involved in a lot of drama in this modified division. This season, sitting 6th in points, it's the number 10 of Mike Spinney.
Good-looking race car, the 92 will start 13th. That's Brody Jones. To his outside, starting 14th in row number 7, the 51 of Junior Snow, who won a few weeks back here at Bowman Gray.
How about row number 8 to the inside of Danny Bone, the number 57? And to the outside, it's the 64. It's Ethan Truel.
Starting 17th. The winningest driver in the history of Bowman Gray Stadium, Tim Brown, looking for 104 tonight from that 17th starting spot. 18th, the 44 of Daniel Beeson, looking for his first career victory here at the stadium in the modifieds.
Row number 10 in the number 07, the real deal. It's Riley Neal. And to that outside from Walnut Cove, North Carolina, it's the number 9 of Kyle Southern.
21st, the 77 of Susan Harwell. And then Cram Smith in the 99 will start 22nd.
Rolling off in row number 12, sitting P2 in points right now, it's the number 1 of Burt Myers. And to his outside, in the 24th starting position, the number 16 of Chris Fleming.
We'll check out the points coming into this one, and it changed a lot after last week. We have Lee Jeffries that will start at the tail end of the field in the 25th starting spot. That's 75 fast time qualifier earlier today. And right now, Lee Jeffries sitting 4th in points. Brandon Ward leads by a large margin over Burt Myers and Tim Brown.
Yeah, the points are very important. We've talked a lot about it, and you alluded to Lee Jeffries being the quickest. Tonight, we also have, for August 2nd, the Fans Challenge that the top 4 qualifying drivers were able to choose if they wanted to take the Fans Challenge. If they did choose, they would have to start at the rear of this field, and they could win $3,000.
And 3 of the top 4 in time took it. Tim Brown didn't, Burt Myers did, Lee Jeffries did, and the driver of that car, Chris Fleming, took it as well. And look at what he has done with these Fans Challenge monies that have been up for grabs. $27,000 in his career, 7 of 15 opportunities he has taken. Now it's 8 out of 16. An impressive career for Tim Brown, who has won it already twice this year.
Yeah, you'll see at the very bottom of that Fleming has accepted the fans challenge 7 of 15 opportunities, and the only time the money has ever been split in the top 4 finishers was split between 2 drivers back in 2018, June 23rd, when Jason Myers and Chris Flemings had to split $9,000.
And remember, Fleming won it back in July, and he won $9,000. Wow. And what they have to do to win this fans challenge, $3,000 up for grabs here tonight, is they have to start at the rear. And then if they're able to make their way up to a top 4 finishing position, they will get the fans challenge money. And like you said, if 2 drivers do it, they split the money. If all 3 do it tonight, well, then it's not as nice.
Yeah.
3 drivers have to split it in terms of those drivers wanting the cash.
And looking at the points just a little bit, when we talk about the decision to choose the gamble or not, right? The extra money. Lee Jeffries sits 4th in points, and Chris Fleming sits 5th in points. So quite interesting, although at this point we have 100 laps tonight in this feature, so plenty of time to be able to work your way up to the top 4. However, anything could happen, especially if there's a wreck in the beginning laps.
And let's remind people of the drama that we talked about at the top of the show, the rivalry that's certainly been brewing between Mike Spini in the 10 and the 11-time champion Burt Myers in the number 1. Earlier this year, back in the 2nd week of the season, we were here. A lot of contact between Mike Spini and the entire Myers family, basically. And then after that, Burt Myers, some contact. Mike Spini, paid him back last week. A lot of war of words. Is it over? Who knows?
I know. And, sometimes people use their words as a pre-race defense line, right? They want to see if they can get into the heads of their competitors and if they can disrupt what they have going on this season. So is Mike Spini all talk, or is he going to have action tonight after he's already said to us today, Bob, that it's over?
He told us it's over as long as Burt Myers is not near the championship. Then he would take care of business. You got to love Bowman Gray in the Madhouse. And what we love is we have the Fox 8100 on tap now. Bobby Meismer and Randy Butner on the front row. They'll bring it off of turn number 4 for the green flag. Meismer a little bit sideways. Butner the advantage going into 1. Butner on the outside. The long way around. Meismer squeezes him. Butner with contact of the backstretch wall coming off of turn number 2. Chaos on the opening lap at the Madhouse.
That's what we're talking about right there. Anything can happen in the beginning laps in a restart, Bob. Man, lots of cars contact there. And it appeared as we saw Randy Butner get up into the wall there on the backstretch. What's happening right here on the front, though?
What we have is Lee Jeffries, who sat 4th in points, fast time qualifier here tonight. Significant damage on the 75 car on the right front suspension. I would believe that he is done for this race, and that's going to be disastrous for Lee Jeffries, who has been so good the past couple of weeks since going back to a conventional setup. Let's take a look at what happened coming off of turn number 2 right after the drop of the green flag here. Bobby Meismer in the 41. That's not what we're looking at. There is Bobby Meismer. We'll try to get another look at it because that was not the replay that captured the contact between the top 2. But a bad break for Lee Jeffries for sure. His 47th career pole here tonight. Back-to-back pole awards. And tonight, Lee Jeffries' night comes to a stop on lap number 1 of a 100-lap race. There's the contact here. A little contact right there between Meismer and Randy Butner. They come off the corner. This is a great view by Elgin Trailer.
Oh.
And that car wiggles a little bit for the 41. Meismer getting up into the 5.
Yeah, there's nowhere to go. The wall doesn't expand when you go up there. That was super unfortunate. Randy Butner up into the wall, causing a complete pileup of the field. Further on, though, down with the 75 of Lee Jeffries, when the 00 of Danny Probst came around, Lee Jeffries gave him a hand motion, kind of shrugged at him, what are you doing type of look. So I'm not sure what happened with them, if that was after the green or once they came around.
So Slate Myers pulling off the racetrack. We saw Lee Jeffries walking away from his 75 to go back to the pits. But I do want to ask you real quickly to put a bow on this one. Bobby Miesmer, when we saw that replay, it looked like his car wiggled. What are your thoughts of what occurred off of turn number 2?
I feel as if we need to see it again from a different angle. To me, I'm almost wondering if Miesmer had a bit of a shot from behind when they came out of the exit of 2, and that was the reason why he shot up, because it was clear that Butner was right beside him. So I can't imagine that this early on in the race it was intentional. So to me, I'm thinking, did he get a shot from behind and it pushed him up into the 5, and then Randy has nowhere to go?
We got a slow-mo replay here. You take me through it, Jacqueline.
So we're going to enter into turn 1 right here. 41's going in pretty hot already. He's not coming down low enough, so he's pushing up into the second place right there of Randy Butner. He's already higher up on the track than he really wants to be as we're going to head into the exit. Nobody behind him, nobody on that back bumper. We're at the center of the backstretch right now, straight into him, almost as if he didn't know he was there. He was at the right rear. Some people call that clear. Is it on Butner now to let out? They have spotters in this division. To me, that wasn't fair game from Miesmer. Put Butner into the wall, obviously, and then this whole pile up behind. So from a driver's perspective.
Wow, look at Burt Myers.
Yeah.
Fly to the infield to avoid the carnage. Chris Fleming as well.
That was the best thing they could do, but then, of course, you're going to go through the grass, you're going to slide around, but just to avoid all of that. I feel Miesmer maybe didn't know he was there. I don't want to say it was intentional, but looking at that angle, he gave him no room.
And knowing Bobby Miesmer, certainly not intentional, but the contact was made between those two drivers. Burt Myers in that number 1 car with CitraSafe on the side of that race car, and Pinnacle Financial as well. He's okay. Chris Fleming okay as well. So a lot of the top runners still good, but poor Randy Butner with a lot of damage on that race car. He and Lee Jeffries, several others back to the pits. We'll take a quick break here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Craziness at the beginning of the NASCAR Modified 100-lap feature tonight at Bowman Gray Stadium. Burt Myers avoided all the contact. So did Chris Fleming as they shot to the infield in a defensive maneuver. But that incident on the first lap of this race, coming off at turn number 2, took out 2 big names. Randy Butner in the number 5 car. He has won 22 times here at this racetrack in this division. And Lee Jeffries in the 75, who is a 30-time winner in NASCAR Modified competition here. So a lot of wins among those 2 veteran drivers, and they are out of this race early on. I'm Bob Dillner. Alongside of me, Jacqueline Drake. Bobby Miesmer still leads this race. He made contact with the 5. Here's my perspective on this one as we've analyzed it a bunch of times. I believe that Miesmer had a very tight race car, and he went up the racetrack, made that initial contact. When he came off of turn number 2, he had a wiggle as he came back to the gas, and when he tried to control it, that car got even a little bit tighter and shot up into Butner. That's just my thought from the tower here. Only the drivers know, but it's just something to theorize here of what happened to the 41 of Bobby Miesmer. 1 to go until we get back to racing. Already a few laps. Laps do count during these 100-lap events here. So we already have 5 laps in the books, although we have not had 1 complete lap of green flag racing. You got the choose cone. Brandon Ward, by the way, Justin Mincy, our statistician extraordinaire up here, also with a great viewpoint and great perspective on racing here at Bowman Gray Stadium. And Brandon Ward had all he can do but to avoid Randy Butner as he got into the wall.
Yeah, we're going to see something pretty interesting in this restart. It's shaking up the field, and they'll come around turns 3 and 4. Green flag is going to wave. Here we go. 41, great start as he'll get challenged from the outside from Brandon Ward.
And I truly believe that car is tight for Bobby Meismer Jr. in the 41, trying to keep it on the bottom, but see how he has to slow down his progress. Brandon Ward, the point leader on the outside of that Q104.1 car with his buddy to the inside, Mike Speedy in the QRC HVAC and refrigeration modified.
Mike Speedy, 3 wins so far this year, hoping to get more before the close of this season. He's going to settle into that second position. We've got a ways to go at 9 laps in the books.
The 41 of Meismer over Speedy, Brandon Ward, Junior Snow, and Danny Bone in the 57-year top 5. Now, Jacqueline, let's get back. We talked about this being an unseasonably cool night here at Bowman Gray. Temperatures to start the day only as high as 78. So might that be the factor in what we saw in that opening lap?
It certainly could. It also could be with him starting on the inside and needing to have more space to get his braking right versus being kind of pinched down on that 41. But right now, though, it's just complete battle from behind as he's trying to defend off. And now we're looking at the number 44 of Daniel Beeson with a little bit of battle. Back up to the front, though. Shot from behind. Mike Speedy continuing to hit on the back bumper of that 41, wanting it to control the pace of this field.
The Bulldog, Mike Speedy in that 10 car trying to grab the lead. We talked about that nickname here today. He said, I've had a few nicknames, but he likes the Bulldog for sure. Right now you see the top pair on the left side of your screen a little bit further back. We're looking at Burt Myers, second in points in that Citrus Safe #1 machine, trying to get by the Flying Taco, Danny Probst to the 00, who said he was going to have a quesadilla here today.
He's the Flying Quesadilla today. And I'm not a quesadilla person, but hey, I'm not judging.
Brandon Ward now pulling up to the back bumper of Speedy. Both of those drivers, talking about the second and third place guys, they park next to each other in the pit area here. Speedy in second, Brandon Ward with that Suzuki machine, the white car in the third spot, and Junior Snow, the snowman, running in fourth. A win to his credit already this year. He's an aggressive race car driver who loves to run these modifieds at Bowman Gray.
Yeah, and certainly working on his own legacy right here. And I wanted to attribute to as well, I counted where Burt Myers was. He's already worked his way up into, I believe it's the 13th position, and he started 23rd.
Pretty impressive move, and of course he's going for the fans challenge here today for $3,000. If Burt is able to move from the rear of the field up to the top 4 in terms of the finishing results, he gets an extra $3,000. This is going to be interesting. Meismer coming up on the slower car of Crab Smith. Speedy, just lots of taps to the back bumper of that Z-Max #41.
It's interesting how aggressive the modified division can be, even with such a long way to go. You would think, oh, you have plenty of time. You don't need to be that aggressive in the beginning laps, but controlling the pace is very important, and you don't ever know if you're going to get another restart.
The Big B coffee machine of Ethan Truel having himself a good run. There goes Beeson, goes by Cram Smith. Dean Ward back there in the 12 machine. Those cars right now outside or just inside the top 10, battling for position. Riley Neal in that white number 07 machine. We're wondering when he's going to get his first victory of the season. Right now, 24 laps this time by completed here in this 100-lap event.
Speedy got the 41 a little bit sideways just a corner ago, really upsetting that car, and the 10 continuing corner after corner to prove that he's right there behind the 41, and he wants to be just one spot ahead of him. Brandon Ward sitting back in the cat seat just watching it all go down.
What do you think is going behind in the mind of Mike Speedy right now? He's got his buddy Brandon Ward behind him. Is he saying, I don't need to be aggressive because Ward is not right on my back bumper? Is he biding his time?
I have no idea. If that's one thing Speedy does, it keeps us guessing.
Yes, he does. Indeed. Speedy, converted, full-fendered racer. Was really good in the pro late model ranks years ago, and now running the Mighty Modifieds. Took a look to the inside of the 41, but still not making that move. Brendan Ward lurking back there in the third spot. Ward, the point leader, with 3 wins to his credit, but Ward has not been strong as of late. Good finishes, but not going after checkers like Brandon Ward wants to. 4th place, Junior Snow. 5th, Danny Bone. Bone has won a bunch of races here, and Tim Brown lurking just outside the top 5. Tim Brown scoring 2 wins in the last 3 races here at Bowman Gray.
Yeah, I had some time to talk to him today. Starting 17th tonight, but already made his way up to the 6th position. I said, Tim, what's going on? This is unlike you to have such a slow start to the season. He said, we went back to the basics. We went to what worked for us in past seasons. We were trying some stuff that was new in the earlier, and it started with the Clash, and it just never came together for us. So we started over. We threw that out, and we went back to the basics, and look at what it's done, Bob.
And Tim Brown trying the new technology, that platform setup on that modified wasn't to his liking. He said, listen, if me as a driver is not happy, it's not going to work. So they went back to what has worked for him. He's gotten a pole, 2 wins. Tim Brown, the Rocket, is back here at Bowman Gray Stadium. And you know what? I haven't seen a smile on Tim Brown's face for a while, and he had a smile in the pits today.
He did. He's been working hard on that car throughout the week, and his team felt great. Just about the momentum that comes whenever you get a win, and the weeks that follow when you're here consistently. A win means everything when it comes to the mentality and the attitude when you show up the next week on how you're going to approach it. And he's already done a great job by working his way up through this field.
And the sponsors have not left Tim Brown despite a little bit of a winless streak up until a couple of weeks ago. Jerry Hunt Super Center, Hayes Jewelers, Bruce Hayes has been a longtime supporter of Bowman Gray, and Tim Brown. And by the way, you got to have yourself some Pulliam's hot dogs before the races start here at Bowman Gray.
Yeah, you went, right?
I
you
did.
Got some.
Me and my son Levi went there and had ourselves a pair of hot dogs apiece.
Yeah. What do you put?
Contact. Speeney gets into the back end of the 41 of Bobby Meismer. Gets him sideways. Now Speeney hopping to the outside, and Meismer takes him way up the racetrack.
Wow, that was major. It's going to throw Speeney off all the way back to the 5th position. Wow, he really pushed him all the way up.
Remember when Speeney put the bumper to Burt Myers last week? Guess what? Meismer was one of those cars that was involved. Meismer was not too happy last week. Yellow flag is out here at Bowman Gray. I saw a couple cars slow, possibly Kyle Southern in the 9 car, and John Holloman might have been like, as I looked outside my window here, those cars slowed a little bit down in turn number 4.
I want to back up just a little bit to what just happened between Bobby Meismer and Mike Speeney. We know he has rivalries. We saw what he's had between the Myers family, but interesting to see a complete different competitor race him. I don't want to say it was dirty. It wasn't dirty, but to give him a taste of the way he has been racing other people, right? Quite interesting way to come back in the leading position. They're not battling for 6th. So he could have given up the lead, the 41, to Brandon Ward quite easily.
And remember, there was a little contact on the back bumper of Meismer that got him loose, and he maybe just paid back the maneuver on Speeney. We'll take a quick break here on Flow Racing and come back in just a moment. A lot left in this modified race. Bobby Meismer Jr. still leads this race, the 41, with Racing Electronics on the side on Racing Electronics night at Bowman Gray Stadium. Field in this 100-lap distance, but we were just talking before we went to break with that battle between he and Mike Spini. It was some rap tap tap on the back bumper of the 41 for many laps, and then it looked like maybe Spini got Meismer a little bit loose, and going to the next corner, all Meismer had in his eyes, he was seeing red,
yeah.
And he took Spini up that racetrack.
No, he sure did. He ran him all the way up into the marbles, completely giving Mike no room other than the choice to let out of the gas and brake, throwing him back from, they were battling for first. Now I believe he's in, what, fifth, Bob? Yeah, fifth place. So he's going to be starting third row inside. Lots of cars to get through to get back up to that front point.
It's going to be interesting on this restart. Brandon Ward has lurked back in third. Does he have anything for Bobby Meismer Jr. in the 41? Junior Snow and Danny Bone, the row behind that. Meismer gets loose, and Brandon Ward to the lead in the 100-lap race.
Ooh, not a good restart for that 41. And the outside lane's going to take advantage. Brandon Ward, that's what he wants to see, followed by Danny Bone. And here he comes, Tim Brown to the outside. That 83 looking out.
Tim Brown must be feeling strong to go to the outside here tonight. Tried to make it work around probably a little bit off the pace Bobby Meismer in the 41. But what Tim Brown's got to watch out for, and he does just that, closes the door on Junior Snow in the 51.
Yeah, protect the inside. Do not let anyone to the inside of you as they will gain position. Mike Spini shot from behind right there to the number 51 to gain position. Now he's up to the 5th position.
We got to keep our eyes peeled on that battle because Junior Snow gets agitated inside the race car sometimes. And after that shot for Spini, if he can get back to the back bumper, I'm sure there might be a little payback. Spini up to 5th. The top two, some of the most successful modified drivers here at this racetrack. Brandon Ward leads. He's the point leader. Halfway through this one here at Bowman Gray Stadium. Second place is Danny Bone, who has won in NASCAR modified races here 18 times. Bone, it's been a while since he's won. Bone, most recently, success on the Smart Modified Tour, looking very good there in the Andretti-owned number 25. Mike Smith, who's known as Andretti, is here helping Danny Bone with his family-owned car.
Hey, I just have to say, I love the way that car looks. That gold.
Oh, yes.
So clean.
It is so New Jersey. Oh, we got a caution. We'll get back to that here because you got to love the 57, the gold leaf, number 57 on Danny Bone. But there you see, caution does come out here.
92.
And it is Brody Jones, the 92, that goes around in turn number 2. Let's go back to that 57 car a little bit because I think you bring up a really valid point. And I grew up around Northeast Modified Racing for years, and I loved going to Walsh Stadium in Belmar, New Jersey. And some of the paint schemes there were just very signature New Jersey style. And to me, that 57 looks like one of those New Jersey styled race cars. You know, Danny's been racing for a long time, but his dad, Eddie, I watched him win the Turkey Derby back in the day at Wall Stadium. His granddad, Parker, a famous race car driver as well with tons of wins. So 3 generations of the Bone family have made modified racing their home.
I love that. And that is what is so great about short track racing when there's tradition and it comes generation after generation. We just got a stat right here. We need to share this. This is a great stat. Danny Bone, who we're talking about right now, his last win in the modified division here at Bowman Gray was in the 100 lapper back on June 1st, 2024.
That's just last year, so just a little bit more than a year, and Danny is a part-time competitor here, really kind of runs the big races. I want to talk about that pass for the lead a little bit, and I want you to take me through it because we have a replay of how Bobby Meismer kept the lead.
All right, so it looks like he slowed down just a little bit. Let him go. Okay, that was premeditated right there. Let him go. The 41 slowed down to get Mike Sweeney out onto the outside, knowing that they're going to head into the corner so that he could run him up.
And I think we're going to take that replay back a little bit to see if there was contact in turn number 1 that might have slowed Bobby Miesmer just a little bit.
Yeah.
But we do know Mike Sweeney, who has been involved in a bunch of mishaps here lately, involved in one here. He was certainly the one that, got hurt the most by that, because after Miesmer took him up to the wall, basically, he lost several spots now trying to battle back. So if we can, we're going to take a look at that replay once more in just a second here to see if there was indeed contact in turn number 1 that really caused Miesmer to slow down and then take Sweeney up into the corner. Miesmer back in that 3rd spot in the 41, Tim Brown in 4th, and there's Sweeney, who sits back a little bit. Here it is. Sweeney goes down into turn number 1. Is there contact? Indeed there is. The front bumper did make that contact with Miesmer. Then he slowed, and here's what happened after that.
Interesting, yeah.
So that's how we saw it live. And you see Miesmer just said, okay, hey, you got me sideways. You got me to slow down a little bit. You look like you have the run. I'm going to make sure you don't get that lead.
Yeah, very smart, very smart. When you sit back and really study the passes here, and especially in the modified division, it's so strategic in the way you protect here, quite differently from when you're talking about late model racing or fender racing in general. They really can use that front bumper, the side rails, to their advantage in this division.
Those Nerf bars certainly come in handy a time or two. Brandon Ward with the lead coming to this restart. Danny Bone chooses the outside. Ward fires, and he's got the lead already coming to the line.
Side by side as they head into turns 1 and 2. Brandon Ward and Danny Bone not going to make any change as they're going to battle it out back to the start finish. A little bit of a jump on the 57 tire right there. Tim Brown trying to avoid this, stuck on the outside. What a battle.
Some craziness here. Brandon Ward elected to give up or shove the nose, gave up the inside. Danny Bone takes advantage and gets back to the lead. Now Ward to the back bumper of Danny Bone. Maybe contact possibly prior to that. Tim Brown now up to 3rd in the 83.
This has caused complete chaos for the rest of the field. On 3rd, on back, you'll see them stacking up. The 41 now getting sideways. Mike speeding to the inside, and several others are starting to stack up.
Sweeney slows down a little bit. Miesmer gives him the spot. So Sweeney up to 4th, Miesmer back to 5th. Jason Myers, haven't mentioned that name all race. The number 4 is just outside the top 5.
Yeah, Jason Myers just trying to come out clean from all of this that's happening around him. Behind him, you'll see there's the 51, and followed by the number 1 of Burt Myers and the 16 of Chris Fleming. We've got more action, though, up front, contact all across this field.
Yeah, you were mentioning the number 1 car and the 16, those Fans Challenge racers, just outside the top 10 right now. So they got plenty of time still to get to that top 4, where they will split, if they both get there, the $3,000 Fans Challenge prize. Up front, the 57 of Danny Bone, looking for another win here. Brandon Ward back to 2nd. 3rd place, though, Tim Brown. So impressive with that 83.
Meticulously taking his time. They have 34 laps to go. You're not going to win now as long as you lead the last one. The 83 protecting his equipment and knowing when the time is right. And right behind him, though, we talked about him all tonight, the 10 glued to the back of that 83 like a magnet.
You like modified racing? Well, you'll also like NASCAR Cup Series racing, and the NASCAR Clash returns to Bowman Gray Stadium in 2026. If you didn't get your tickets last year, you can get put on a waiting list. Go to NASCARclash.com/wait list. On September 19th, if somebody doesn't renew, you might have an opportunity to sit in these grandstands to watch Chase Elliott go after 2 in a row in the Clash at Bowman Gray Stadium.
Such a great event and great way to start off the National Series schedule. But tonight, right now, we have a lot of action still left to go. Danny Bone continuing to lead the point, the number 57, 29 laps to go with lots of drivers behind him wanting to take it from him.
I've been watching Mike Speeney in fourth, and I thought Speeney might get to the back bumper of Tim Brown. He does a little bit with a tap there to the number 83, but Speeney almost looks like that car just won't turn in the center of the corner.
Yeah, certainly seems to have a little bit of a struggle right there on these longer green flag runs. Looking at Speeney right now, that's the top four. We're going to look just a little bit at Tim Brown right in front of him, continuing to sit pretty in this podium spot in the third place, the 83 right there. Right in front of him, though, you'll see the leader, Danny Bone, and Brandon Ward, a little bit of lap traffic in front of them. They'll go around the 99 of Crab Smith.
So Crab Smith goes down another lap here. All calm at this point of this game with 25 laps to go. 24 this time by, and a little bit of separation between the top two and third place running Tim Brown now as well, beginning to develop.
Yeah, certainly as we're going to enter into these final 20 laps here shortly, I'm curious to see if we'll have the heat. As I say that, the caution flag is going to come out. And man, oh man, is this going to shake up this field for this next restart? Because we're getting closer to that 100 lapper, that final lap, Bob. And this is when the gloves come off, shall we say.
Possible debris on the racetrack to bring out this caution. We don't see any cars stop, but I believe officials were looking at some debris down in the corner. So that'll allow Danny Bone and the top guys to cool off their tires just a little bit on a cool night at Bowman Gray Stadium.
I love this camera shot right here. It's something we didn't always have at Bowman Gray on the broadcast. That speed shot in turn 4, man, it's just perfect. Everything happens right over there, right? Right, Bob? Right in front of our camera. We like that.
We pay the drivers to do that. No, and listen, action at this track is all over the place, and there's not a bad seat in the house either. You could, my family, when we came here, not doing broadcasts, we would traditionally sit off of turn number 2 because you got a lot of vibrant, very passionate people over there, and it's fun to watch them as well as watch the races.
The people watching.
Yes.
You pay for the race, you get the people for free, right?
That's right.
Right here.
And if my brother was here, he'd say, yeah, and it's really close to Little Donuts as well. We had to get that out of the way because we know everybody likes to pick on my brother for his comments.
You know, I don't see any donuts here, Bob. Did you not? You don't get the donuts.
No, only my brother does. He gets the donuts. But let's take a look at the replay because we want to see how Danny Bone and Brandon Ward, what happened. And here's Brandon Ward. Little contact between he and the 57 going down into the corner. Does Danny Bone make contact? Indeed, he does with Brandon Ward. That's how he went up to the second groove. And then the rest was history with the little battle and the 57 getting the preferred line on the inside to capture that lead. So we're coming back to the green next time by. I thought that's what might have happened because Brandon Ward would not miss the corner as a veteran here. And so contact between the two. Brandon Ward tried to pay him back a little bit. Coming to the green flag, Danny Bone plays the, hey, I'm not going to fire because Brandon Ward fired first game, and we're going to see another attempt at that restart.
The mind games.
Cat and mouse, baby. So I'm sure Danny Bone trying to make sure, since he controls this restart, trying to fire first. Can Tim get to the inside? Much better restart. Danny Bone and Brandon Ward side by side into turns 1 and 2. Good run there. Brandon Ward able to keep pace with him, but Danny Bone to the top spot. Now Brandon Ward can't close the door on Tim Brown.
certainly side by side, and the 83 has the advantage going into turn 1 and 2, looking into the inside right there, but can't complete the pass. Going to settle into the 3rd position. A little bit shot from behind that's going to domino effect to the back of the field, but this is going to be where the 57 can raise that gap and continue to get that lead where he wants it.
A little further back, watching the progress of Burt Myers come through the field. He is the top guy in terms of the drivers that took the Fans Challenge. Right now, he is just outside the top 5, running in that 7th spot, having moved by Junior Snow and now trying to pull up to the back bumper of Bobby Meismer. Snow not giving up, though, in that 51.
Plenty of time to still get a payday for Burt Myers as he's going to make his way up and settle in to that position.
3 more spots for Burt Myers. That's all he needs to get the $3,000 for the Fans Challenge. He started near the rear, took that option, and if he can get to the top 4, he gets $3,000 extra.
Double boxing right here where you see Burt Myers working on the back of the 41, and then you'll see the leader right there, the gap that he has in between Danny Bone and Brandon Ward.
Burt Myers, a little bump to the back bumper of Bobby Meismer. Meismer just trying to hold that car to the inside. He wants everybody to go to the outside, if possible, to pass him for the lead. 10 laps to go in this one for Danny Bone.
10 laps to go, and it flies by quick when we're here at Bowman Gray. Danny Bone is sitting pretty, though. He has about 2.5 car lead right now over Brandon Ward. Plenty of time, though.
A lot of separation right now amongst the top 5 in terms of distance between each position. That all can change if we have a caution, and sometimes we see one late in the going of these big races for the Mighty Modifieds here at the Madhouse. This battle, though, interesting. Burt Myers in the number 1 trying to get by the 41 car of Bobby Meismer Jr. for 6th.
Bobby Meismer, he's put his feet in the concrete. He's not wanting to get moved at all. A little bit sideways that time, though. Burt Myers, though, not enough momentum to get around him, so didn't make a difference. Going to look to the outside. Oh, we're going to see right there the 41 tries that move again that we saw on Mike Sweeney.
Burt Myers running out of time to get in the top 4. Meismer all out of shape coming off of turn number 2. That car is ill handling for the veteran driver, one of the winningest drivers ever at Concord Speedway.
Yeah, behind him, Junior Snow, Chris Fleming trying to also get around him. The 41 has the rest of the field. Quite a big gap in between them and the top 6 competitors. So really holding up these guys that are going for the Fans
Trey
Challenge.
Hutchins goes around in 3 and 4 to bring out that caution we were talking about.
Oh, this is what they were hoping, right? Right, Bob? This is what they're hoping. We need that restart. We need to put everybody closer together, the field, and this is when things are going to get crazy.
Tough break for Trey Hutchins, though. He was so confident after the morning practice here today. Felt like that the car was the best, that he's had it here in Bowman Gray for such a long time. Son of Bobby Hutchins, who has won races here and worked for Richard Childress Racing for so long. Bobby, a mainstay in this part of the country with modified racing, and now his son Trey competing here at Bowman Gray on a part-time basis.
Yeah, they were working on it this morning and trying to get it to where Trey would be happy with it. So certainly a lot of effort happening by that team, and never want to see it in that way. And right as we're getting close to the end of this 100-lapper.
Does this give Burt Myers the opportunity, sitting inside that? He's sitting in 7th right now. Does he have a shot with just a couple of laps to go in this one?
I looked at Justin Mincy. He's shaking his head. He's shaking his head so hard, his Flow Racing hat almost flew right off of his head. He said no. He has no time. Not going to happen. Single file restart.
Hard to tell from
Green,
that
white,
replay
checkered.
if there was contact to the back bumper of Trey Hutchins. Andrew Harrow was right behind him, but really hard to tell going into turn number 3 because they were so close together whether there was contact or not. You want a drama, Jacqueline? You got it.
Me?
Absolutely. You love
Little
drama.
old me?
Always makes it interesting, and that's why you see thousands of fans pour into this coliseum of sorts each and every week here at Bowman Gray Stadium. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, you know, Bob, I'm having fun up here.
Yes, it's
We're
fun.
having a good time.
Absolutely.
Nice night.
Single file restart. Green-white checker finish here. That's what we will see when we go back to green. We are going into OT. Yes, overtime, because they count the laps here, but we are having a green-white checker finish for the Fox 8 100 for the NASCAR Modifieds.
Fans are on their feet. They're ready.
Reds Golf Cars sponsoring this division for several years. I feel like I need myself a golf cart again. I used to have one. It was not as fast, but Greg Biffle would always tell me, mine's faster than yours. Mine went about 40 miles an hour. His went about 60. Incredible. Anyway, Danny Bone, can he hold on for the win? Green-white checker finish to settle the score here at Bowman Gray for the NASCAR Modifieds. Single file restart key for Danny Bone. Is able to gap the Q104.1 machine by about a half a car length. 1 lap to go. Speedy going for third. Not able to get underneath Tim Brown's machine. Brandon Ward not going to be able to get to Danny Bone. Danny Bone, the New Jersey speedster, will pick up his 19th career win here at Bowman Gray Stadium, and his first since a 100-lapper just about a year ago. Brandon Ward pulls alongside, congratulates Danny Bone despite the contact that took the lead away from Brandon Ward. Tim Brown in third, Mike Speedy in fourth. Good finish here for the NASCAR Modifieds at Bowman Gray Stadium. What do you think about Danny Bone's performance here tonight?
I think he drove a great race. Again, this division, so strategic when it comes to these veterans in the field, right? And I think I classify Danny as one of the veterans in the field, and certainly has that racing history that you spoke about. So he drove an excellent race. He avoided the wrecks and didn't have any damage to that car. So great job by him, and being able to restart. That was a great restart right there. Overtaking Brandon Ward, wasn't rattled, hit his marks, and able to bring home the win.
Danny Bone this year has been off just a little bit, and he's admitted that. They have not been in full contention like they're used to being. Mike Smith, his car owner on the Smart Series, comes over, helps Danny a little bit this week, and guess what? Old Mike Smith, Andretti, and Danny Bone in victory lane. His 19th career win, his 6th in a 100-lap race here at Bowman Gray Stadium. Incredible performance tonight by Danny Bone in victory lane. We'll go down there and see what he has to say as the big guy climbs out victorious at the Madhouse.
As we said, Danny, no stranger to success in these 100-lappers. Coming up next, the second 20-lapper for the Losses of John Barrow Sportsman Series, as Danny gets a cold drink of water as he climbs out of the cockpit, race fans. Let him hear it. Here he comes, Danny Bone, the winner of the Fox 8 WGHP 100. Danny, no stranger to these 100-lappers. First win of the season. No, you're not full-time over here, but it was June of last year in a 100-lapper was the last time you visited victory lane.
I've been a stranger in these 100-lappers this year, man. We've struggled. We've 2 fifth places, and man, we worked our butt off this week. Got to thank Andretti for coming over. We went through the whole car. My dad, my crew, everybody that helps me with this thing. North American Construction, Bilstein Shocks, PME Engines, S&R Motor Company. We got put on the back, but big thanks to Scott Brannick. We spent some money this week to get this thing tuned up, and I told him I'd put it in victory lane for him. So glad to be back. I was starting to wonder if I'd get back here or not, but it's awesome to win here.
Congratulations, Danny. He's going to go pick up a winner's trophy from Kevin Conley.
Danny Bone goes to victory lane here. His 6th 100-lap win ties him with Max Barrier, the famous Satch Worley, and Ralph Brinkley for 6th place in 100-lap races here at Bowman Gray. The second for the sportsman class coming up next.
Race fans, right now, we've got some representatives from Racing Electronics. They had a giveaway tonight, a scanner giveaway, and the winner is Daniel Shelton out of Stoneville. Daniel came to race, picked up a win on a scanner. How's it feel?
It feels great, man. I've been coming out here 25 years, and I've never won anything like this, so this is exciting.
Well, do you ever use a scanner?
I do every week, but I needed an upgrade, so we got an upgrade.
Well, congratulations to you, all our friends from Racing Electronics. We appreciate it so much. Once again, congratulations to Daniel Shelton. Picks up a scanner package courtesy of Racing Electronics. It is time now for race number 2. And boy, is it an interesting starting lineup. Rolling off 17. It's the number 17 of Robbie Brewer. Excuse me, there was an 18th starter, the 77 of Jeff Snow. Robbie Brewer starts 17th in the car number 17. Starting 16th is the number 24 of A.J. Burness. Rolling off 15th is the car number 11 of Chase Lewis. Starting 14th is the car number 63 of Terry Smith. T. Dawson, the car number 15, will start 13th. Starting 12th is Kyler Kepley in the car number 8. Zach Taylor in the Little Donuts 88 rolls off 11th. Starting 10th.
In Winston-Salem, North Carolina, sits a NASCAR legend. Championship night at historic Bowman Gray Stadium.
This is what you dream of. Zach Orr will become a champion of the sportsman division.
Christian Joyce is your 2024 champion.
Title number 5. A.J. Sanders has made history.
You can win here 150 times and it never gets old. There's something about this place.
Championship night in just a couple of weeks is going to be a lot of fun. Oh, there's the Little Donuts car.
Speaking of Matthew Dillner, we were just sipping the Matt Dillner lemonade.
Oh, yes.
And Matthew Dillner lemonade, and looking at his donuts. And Matt, if you're watching this, cheers to you. A couple lemonades.
We thank you. Yep, cheers up here in the booth. Justin Mincy, Jacqueline Drake, I'm Bob Dillner, having ourselves some S&P lemonade. We don't have any Little Donuts. I think they reserved that just for my brother, but that's okay. But that championship night in a couple of weeks, that's going to be a lot of fun. We'll see what transpires with the point situations over the next couple of weeks. But what we have ourselves is a sportsman race coming up, the second of the Twin 20s. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for this one. This is an interesting top 4, let's just say. Tommy Neal, the kingpin of the sportsman class. The 21 starts on the pole, looking for his 56th career win. Sterling Clemens looking for another win. You got to love it when the rock star is on the outside of the front row.
Yeah, what a great front row. But looking at row number 2 right here, Amber Lynn, she had a great run in the first feature. Now starting in the second row inside, and to her outside, Chase Robertson, points leader. Yeah, it's a great points lead by him.
4 wins to his credit this year. Mitch Gales has himself a victory this year as well in the 38. We'll start on the inside of row number 3. And Justin Taylor, second place in points. At number 12 will start 6th.
at row number 4 now. Into the inside, the number 1, Austin Jones. Into the outside, it's that 55 of Zach Orr, who won in the first feature.
And that's why we have an invert of 8 for this one. The zero hero, Kirk Sheets, in that 0 car. He starts on the inside of row number 5. Ryan Robertson is listed, but I believe that's Dylan Ward in that car, I believe, in the number 23.
Looking at row number 6 now, it's the 88 of Zach Taylor, and the outside, the number 8 of Kyler Kepley.
A little bit further back, you look to lucky number 13, T. Dawson in the 15, and Terry Smith in the 63 on the outside.
Row number 8 is going to be the 11 of Chase Lewis, followed by the 24 of A.J. Bernies.
Robbie Brewer and Jeff Snow round out the field in this one as we're a lap until we go green flag racing for the finale of the Twin 20s, the sportsman class. And let me point this out, okay? What I think is very interesting here, Jacqueline, is there you have the Tiger, Tommy Neal, in first. Amber Lynn is starting behind him, and those two have some history where Tommy Neal wound up in the tire barrier in turn number 3, 2 seasons ago, I believe it was. So we'll see if that rivalry continues here. Tommy Neal in that good-looking number 21, hoping for his second victory of the season. The rock star Sterling Clemens alongside with no right front fender as we race into turns 1 and 2.
Lost those in the first feature, but going to try to get a win in this one. Settles into that P2 right behind Tommy Neal. Amber Lynn in third, followed by Chase Robertson. Single file now for the top 4.
Dylan Ward lost a bunch of spots in that 23 after some contact, and Kogar, actually the number 88 goes around here. So trouble early in this race as we got 2 parked up in turns 1 and 2. Zach Taylor goes around in that race car. Bad break for him. He's got a left rear tire down. Maybe that's why, or maybe there was some contact that sent Taylor around in the opening laps of this race. Robbie Brewer also involved down there as Taylor went around, and that's unfortunate that Zach Taylor went around because that's the Little Donuts machine.
I know, I was just about to say. Losing a tire, losing one of the donuts. For those that saw the 17 with no nose, the 17 entered into the track. Robbie Brewer without his nose or his front fenders because he lost them in the first feature. So if you missed that earlier in the show tonight, 1 to go though. Flagman's going to show the team 1 to go, and we're going to get this field stacked back up.
See what happens here. I was surprised that Amber Lynn was not able to take advantage of following Tommy Neal into the lead. Sterling Clemens was able to close the door. Now Amber Lynn finds herself back in third. Fourth is Chase Robertson, and Mitch Gales in that 5th spot. Tommy Neal is the master of keeping people at bay in the sportsman class. Sterling Clemens, very hungry to get back to victory lane, but he's got to be careful with that right front nose piece and fender missing.
Not much you can do with that 03 because, quite frankly, when he's trying to get up underneath the back bumper of the 21, it's going to cause more damage to the 03 than do good for him. Amber Lynn sitting pretty, not getting too aggressive back there. Chase Robertson at 31, also just kind of seeing how this is going to sort out as we come to 4 laps in.
We got a couple going around. Kirk Sheets around in the 0 machine, and I believe that's Dylan Ward. I've not got full confirmation, but Ryan Robertson, the driver that started the year in that car for the last several weeks, we've seen Dylan Ward mostly get in behind the wheel of that number 23 machine, and both of those drivers involved in a mishap in turns 3 and 4.
A lot of damage to that 23 you'll see in the right front, and even into the door panel on the right side. Going to have to exit the track here to remove some of that, I would imagine. Let's see what he does here.
Might not with 1 to go.
Yeah.
He might say, I'm going to stay out. Nothing rubbing on the right front tire. So that's something to keep an eye on for sure. But I believe that he'll stay out on the racetrack. Tommy Neal, boy, a lot of cautions in this one already for the sportsman class. Tommy Neal over Sterling Clemens. Clemens was right on the back bumper of the Tiger. But Tommy Neal, watch his driving style. He'll almost stop the car. It almost appears he stops the car once we get going in turn number 4 or on the exit of turn number 2 to not allow Sterling Clemens to get a run.
Restart this time by headed into turns 1 and 2. The 03 is going to try to get to the inside. Not successful though, denied, but still holds on to that P2 position. Shot from behind again to the 24. The rest of the field still sits in the same position as where they started.
Sterling Clemens, as evident by the taps to the back of the 21, still has that bumper bar on the front end of that machine, but he's got to be careful the right front like he did right there. Contact between Clemens and Tommy Neal, and the Tiger goes around.
What a shot to the rear end of that 03. He tried to avoid the 21, unable to do so, and we've got massive damage now to the 03 as Tommy Neal's going to throw his car around.
He's ticked
and
off.
do a donut. I wonder if he's going to come around and retaliate now. Clearly upset with how that unwinded.
And Sterling Clemens can't get off the racetrack. He's trying not to damage that car any further. He's got a right rear flat tire. And here comes Tommy Neal around to where Sterling Clemens is. Let's see if anything happens here. No, nothing does happen. Maybe a little point by the Tiger, Tommy Neal, to Sterling Clemens.
I think that rear end is completely
Toast.
gone in that 03. He's going to try to limp it around for a tire, but I don't think that's repairable.
Yeah, you can see the suspension broken on Sterling Clemens' car riding behind, and maybe some extracurricular activity between Dylan Ward and Kirk Sheets.
We have an assist. We have an assist happening here. The 23 is trying to get his fender off without actually going into the pit area. The 0 is trying to assist. Teamwork, right?
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Kirk Sheets is like, hey, buddy, come on over here. Let's see if I can get that off. Interesting.
So the 23 heads to the pit area. Here's a look at it. And you saw Clemens get into the back of him, right? And it's Tommy Neal goes down into turn number 3. Great shot here. Neal comes down the racetrack to block the line. I think that's just good, hard racing there. Unfortunately, takes both competitors out of the competition. Each driver in that case, you know as a driver yourself, is going to blame the other. They're going to point fingers, right? Because Tommy Neal trying to protect the bottom. Was Sterling Clemens there enough? Old school would maybe say he wasn't there enough.
Yeah, I think the old school method, at least how I was always taught in late models, is that unless they are at the center of your door, they're not clear, and they haven't gained that position.
Let's take a look at it one more time to see what happened. And there it is. Clemens making a little bit of a tap to move Tommy up just enough. Watch going down here into turn number 3. That contact ever so slightly, and to your point, he was not up to the left rear or not up to the numbers of Tommy Neal, depending on what side of the fence you are in terms of where you need to be.
No, and he also was making the pass at the entry of the corner in a weird, it was like a weird way, or attempting to make the pass. So unless he had Tommy Neal just completely let out, right, and gave him the position that it was just going to end that way. And then that's where you're like, hey, you just need to avoid it if you take him out.
So look at who is now the leader of this race. Amber Lynn back on top here at Bowman Gray Stadium in her return to racing action in 2025. Chase Robertson in that second spot, missing a portion of his nose piece as well. Mitch Gales in third, Justin Taylor in fourth, and Zach Orr, the opening feature winner tonight in that first of the twin 20s, is in fifth. Yellow flag comes out. We got one stopped on the backstretch. It's Kyler Kepley in the number 8.
And we're losing more fenders. We've got fenders everywhere. We got another car over in turn 3.
T. Dawson, the 15, is stopped and pointed towards the outside wall. So maybe some extracurricular activity down there as well.
Go ahead and get your phones out and start texting your body guy, because you're going to need it if you're coming back next week.
Listen,
Order up those panels.
I'm sure Five-Star Race Car Bodies loves quarter-mile racing here at Bowman Gray Stadium. The Car Store also, man, they tear up some stuff and some good hard-fought racing as well. So, Five-Star Race Car Bodies, one of the body manufacturers for full-fendered racing all over the country. Sterling Plemons, by the way, back out on the racetrack. So he had that right rear down, but it appeared, Jacqueline, like he had some right rear suspension damage as well, or maybe rear end damage, but he's back out there.
Yeah.
So we'll take a quick break as we clean this up and come back with a lot more racing. Still more than half of the Sportsman Twin Feature number 2 on store here tonight.
Jimmy Brown of the Bowman Gray Stadium track crew, very best in weekly racing. CC, you've been to a lot of tracks, a lot of weekly racing series, and you've been to a lot more than I have. But they'll be on the track, and it might be 7 or 8 laps before anybody ever addresses it. Not over here at the Madhouse. 77 short tracks I've attended in my lifetime, and I'm telling you what, we do have the best track crew. But let me tell you something else about all these tracks I've been to. There's nobody like the Madhouse. These fans that we have here, they are the best in the business. It's kind of quiet. Madhouse, make some noise! And Randy Pulliam, that's reason number 3,752. I love these people in the stands. You miscalculated. You forgot. It's not 3,752. It's 7,523. Yeah, missed it.
We're having a good time in Winston-Salem, North Carolina tonight, watching NASCAR racing around this quarter-mile famed racetrack known as Bowman Gray Stadium. I'm Bob Dillner, Jacqueline Drake alongside. We got D-Lo up here, Lucas Kaler, who is our producer tonight, Justin Mincy in the house, always trying to feed some statistics. T. Dawson, by the way, one of the 2 cars that was, involved in whatever happened on the racetrack. T. Dawson was afterwards. Kyler Kepley actually stopped on the racetrack that brought out the initial caution. So plenty happening here. 7 laps into this 20-lap feature for the sportsman class. Amber Lynn, when's the last time she won? Oh, Justin Mincy, you see the smoke coming out of his ears
He's
right
like,
now.
oh, give me a challenge.
That's right.
Heads to the machine.
Part-time competition last year for Amber Lynn. Her last full-time year was 2023. We mentioned that crash at South Boston in a crate modified. That definitely was a hard lick for her. She's been cleared to come back to racing. We thank you to everybody that is here with our staff as well. And we see the cameras on top of the tower here at Bowman Gray Stadium. And Sammy is up there. Sammy, you got to wave. Let's see if she can wave. There she is. So thank you to Sammy and does such a great job up there for us. Elgin Trailer, one of our camera operators as well. Viv, we got a lot of people here helping us out with the entire production. Will, Sarah back in Charlotte helping out with the broadcast as well. And here is the stat we've been waiting for. Amber Lynn's last win was actually just over a year ago, back in June, early June, in a 100-lapper for the sportsman class just last year. See how quick he got that? Is that impressive?
That was fast.
Yes.
That was fast. If you guys knew, it's just a bunch of books, too. He's just flipping through pages. No, I'm kidding.
I've always said that NASCAR
computer
needs to hire Justin Mincy to go run their stats department because he's incredible and quick as well. One lap until we go back green flag racing. It's Amber Lynn over Chase Robertson, Mitch Gales, Justin Taylor, and Zach Orr. Austin Jones, by the way, who finished on the podium in the first race, making a transition from street stock racing to sportsman racing here at Bowman Gray this week, just outside the top 5.
Great switch then, right?
Yeah.
That's how you know you're like, wow, I made a good decision.
Well, he's got Cale Gale helping him out with that a little bit too. And Cale Gale is like a mad scientist, knows how to set up a race car, and he's helping Austin Jones.
Green flag is out. It's going to wave as the field's going to head into turns 1 and 2. Amber Lynn continuing to lead in that 2 over Chase Robertson, the points leader. Mitch Gales right behind, rounding out that top 3.
Chase Robertson tries to get the advantage, but right now it appears as though Amber Lynn just really good up off the corner. She struggles getting to the center, but is able to just barely gap Chase Robertson down the straightaway. Third place, Mitch Gales. His car looks a little bit better, but still does not want to turn. You see the diction of those wheels turn to the center of the corner, and that car wants to still go straight. So he doesn't look like he will be a factor in the last half of this race, halfway through this one already.
A little bit further out in 4th and 5th place, it's Justin Taylor and Zach Orr right there, the 55, all over the back of that 12 as he gets a shot from behind and gets him sideways down, trying to make the pass now on the outside.
Look at this, could be payback here maybe by Justin Taylor. Sterling Clemens slow on the backstretch. That'll bring out the caution. By the way, remember Zach Orr and Justin Taylor, they got into it in the first race earlier this evening.
I'll tell you what, this division. Does it make you want to get behind the wheel of one of these cars? Not here.
Not here.
I'll save that for another track, Bob. But I love it here. I just like this seat better.
Oh, yes. A great vantage point, indeed. I still say next year, my goal is to get in a stadium stock race.
Oh.
My brother did it years ago, and we both run race cars, from time to time throughout the last 20 years. I've never run here, and he's got one up on me. I want to talk to AJ Sanders and see if I can rent a ride and come out there, and then you can talk about me.
All right. I like that.
What an idiot.
Why don't we get you both out there? Hey, I was calling that earlier. You get both out there.
That's right, you were. Yeah, in our rehearsal here, there was a little story about Matthew and Bob Dillner running, and unfortunately, I wound up in the wall.
Oh, man. No, I like that. I actually thought you were going to say the chain race. I find the chain race quite interesting.
Listen, I would not trust my brother to be the other car in the chain race.
All right. We're going to get the infamous one to go, but is this going to be the last restart, Bob? We got 12 laps in.
Yeah, 8 more to go in this one. Just imagine what Amber Lynn is thinking. And listen, she doesn't lack confidence. Let's just put it that way. So she came here tonight saying, I can win tonight. But, a lot of people go, I wonder if she's rusty. She hasn't been here this year. Amber Lynn is setting the tone now of this race with one of the best, the point leader, with 4 wins to his credit, Chase Robertson, behind her.
Trying to give a little bit of a strategic start.
Donkey Strong goes around Justin Taylor in turns 1 and 2. Second place in points is Justin Taylor, but now he's going to have to go to the rear of the field. Well, this one just can't get going.
No.
Many cautions in this one for the sportsmen.
It's been like that, even in their first feature. I think it was the longest one, even over the 100-lapper in the modifieds. Certainly heating up the tension. It appeared, Justin Mincy saying the 17 might have gotten into the back of the 12 with what is left of the 17.
Listen, the Brewers coming through the field a little bit, too. There's Kepley's car, missing the entire front end. A lot of people would say that looks like a modified. Doesn't have a big enough bumper on the front to really look like a modified.
Those fenders, they don't know what they're talking about. Just kidding. I do say that, though, if I'm calling a late model race. All right, we're going to line them back up. Single file. Pace car is going to bring them around. 1 to go.
Still wonder what Zach Orr has in store here. Mitch Gale's car, I expect a little bit of a boot because Mitch Gale's the car really tight, doesn't want to turn in the center. Zach Orr could climb into the thick of things here late in this race. Green flag is back out. Amber Lynn, your leader, over Chase Robertson. Nobody better the last couple of years than Chase Robertson. Zach Orr might have something to say about that, but at the same time, Chase Robertson with more wins than Zach Orr coming into this week. But Orr won earlier this evening. Zach Orr trying to sweep the night, now going to the inside or trying to get there on Mitch Gales. Gales gives him the room. Zach Orr kind of slides it, moves the 55 up to third.
5 laps to go this time by Amber Lynn, continuing to lead over Chase Robertson. Quite a gap now between Robertson and Orr. The 31's given a little bit of a shot. Playing fair game, though, to the number 2 as they head into turns 1 and 2. Plenty of time to make the pass. If Robertson is going to do it, the points still in mind as they come into turns 3 and 4.
The question is, how hard of a shot will Chase Robertson give the back end of the 2 to try to get the victory here tonight? That's what I'm saying. Chase Robertson, eager, that 40-point penalty last week. Wants to get back to victory lane to say, hey, I can do it no matter what. And right now, he's still at bay by Amber Lynn in the 2.
2 different drivers, 2 different objectives on their plate tonight. Amber Lynn and Chase Robertson come around turns 3 and 4. White flag this time by.
Chase Robertson's got a couple of shots here to get to her back bumper. Amber Lynn, I like that little higher entrance into turn number 1. Robertson there. Does he give her a nudge? No. Amber Lynn back to victory lane at Bowman Gray Stadium for the 13th time. She is victorious in the sportsman class. And her first victory in over a year. One of the fan favorites here at Bowman Gray, Amber Lynn is back.
Amber Lynn, the winningest woman driver here at Bowman Gray Stadium. The race fans are on their feet clapping and hugging. What a comeback story that is for her to be able to get back into this car after sustaining her injuries, having the confidence to lead this and overtake the points leader in this division in 2025. And she's going to bring it home to the checkered flag at Bowman Gray.
You're going to watch the fans go crazy here. They are already lined up on the front stretch just beyond that wall in your shot. They're already cheering. She's going to go around this racetrack with the checkered flag, and you're going to hear them tonight in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. When she climbs out, it's going to be an incredible ovation from the crowd. Amber has now won in 6 consecutive seasons. Only Tommy Neal has achieved that feat. That is really good category to be in for Amber Lynn. Remember, she did it last year in that 100 lapper in a part-time basis. They're hanging over the wall off of turn number 4. They're excited, and now she's pulling to victory lane. Chris Carter is down there. We're just going to throw it down there and let you hear what's going on as Amber Lynn climbs out in victory lane.
Number 2 of Amber Lynn. There's a lot of happy. There she is! Amber Lynn! Come on. Y'all, come on. Come on. Come on. Welcome back.
It's great to be here.
I was telling last year you won a 100-lap race. You had some issues. You went to the doctor. They said, Amber, you can't race no more. You've been going getting your regular checkups. They said you can race. Well, here you are, my friend. Tell us about it.
It was really hard being at the stadium every weekend and not being able to drive. And to come out here my first weekend back and win the second race. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to my family and my sponsors and my crew guys that have stuck with me for years and years. I'd like to thank the Huffman family, the DeBusk family, Boogie Lynn, Walkabout Flooring, Peace Out Vapes, and the Patriots Choice Plumbing.
Way to go. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Look at that celebration here at Bowman Gray Stadium for Amber Lynn. Victorious. Comes back, and in only her second race on her first night is a winner again in Winston-Salem. We'll be right back to Flow Racing.
For Amber, her 13th career sporting win. As Chris said, she won a 100-lapper in June of last season. Coming back the first time in 2025 season, picks up a win in second 20-lapper. The loss was the John Barris 14 Series.
We hope you're having a good time watching on Flow Racing here tonight. Of course, Flow Racing, you probably have two computers on because you probably have Bowman Gray Stadium and the big money show for the Cars Tour down at Hickory Motor Speedway. I haven't seen any updates. I lost my phone a little while ago. My son took it, so I haven't been able to watch any updates there, but lots of racing going on, and that's what's cool about Flow Racing. When I am home on a Friday or Saturday night, man, I go to Flow and I get to see all sorts of racing, from NASCAR to dirt tracks, you know, all sorts of stuff all over the country. And you gotta love what Flow Racing has done for racing around America. All right, here's what we got. The Stadium Stocks B feature is up first. We'll take a look at the starting lineup. The 44 of Blaze Sanders on the point for this one, and Zach Taylor on the outside in the number 88.
Row number 2 is going to feature the 0-1 of Joel Stewart, and to the outside, the 11 of Sydney Sanders.
My brother's favorite car, Pintang, the number 7 for Chris Allison, an 18-time winner here at the stadium. And Patrick Mullen used to be a Jamie Tomato crew member back in the day. He starts on the outside of that row.
Looking at row number 4, we have the 33 of David Rose and the 46 of Colton Brown.
And then Tyler Rose will line up 9th in the number 12. He's won one this year. Michael Cates in the 83 will start 10th.
Looking at row number 6, we have the Stack and Pennies cheeky number 15, Andre Chavez, and the Tobaccoville, North Carolina native, the 27 of Austin Cates.
Bobby Reed in that 28 car with that very patriotic number on that race car will round out the field. So, who's going to win this one? Could Pintang do it again? That'll be a very popular victory. I look at Patrick Mullen who's always stout in that number 20 car from the outside of row number 3. But don't forget about Sydney Sanders. The ladies may be going back-to-back here tonight. Amber Lynn to Sydney Sanders. Who knows? Coming around to take the green flag, Blaze Sanders and Zach Taylor on the front row for this one. The green flag is out for the Stadium Stock B feature.
Great start by the number 44, straight into turns 1 and 2. A little bit of a wash up, that's okay. A little bit of a recover. The 88's going to get a little bit sideways as well from the 01 is Stewart.
Yeah, Stewart might have given a little love tap right there to Zach Taylor. Stewart not able to capitalize, but Stewart staying on that bottom line, kind of hurting him on entry to the corner because he just kind of pushes up the racetrack a little bit. Oh, we got one going around in the infield. Will that bring out the caution? That's the big question right now. David Rose in that 33 goes around and we stay green.
Able to get it going back, continuing to lead the 44 of Blaze Sanders. Several car lengths between first and second place. Let's get around the lap car here, right here. 44 is still clean and green.
Pintang, Chris Allison up to third. Fourth is Patrick Mullen. Will they run out of time? Still early in this one, a 15-lap feature. This time by, it'll be 4 laps complete. By the way, Andrew Cates slowing on the backstretch on the grass. So he is in the infield. That will bring out the caution. So problems for Andrew Cates in that number 27 machine. And that's exactly what the doctor ordered for Chris Allison in third and Patrick Mullen in the 4th spot.
Absolutely going to shuffle this field. Going to bring this field back together with the caution flag. The 44 really took off there in the beginning. Strong. We'll see if they are able to do it again.
By the way, you got to love this S&P lemonade. I think I'm going to be able to drive home easily tonight. Plenty of sugar, and it is tasty.
What size drink do you think that is? Levi drank the whole thing in 0.2 seconds like he was on a qualifying run back here.
He won't be going to bed until about 3 a.m. You watch.
He's
just
out,
9 years old.
He's got your phone buying things on Amazon currently. Just
Probably.
ship tomorrow.
Probably, yes. Hopefully he's just talking to Mom. That's what I'm hoping. And he says yes. Now he's blushing.
No clear answer as we talk about him here on Flow. Nobody's safe in the booth, that's for sure. The only person we haven't talked about yet is D'Lo. The only one we haven't picked on just yet. But we're going to get this field back together. Still looks like we're doing a bit of a cleanup, though. We haven't gotten one to go just yet.
You know, speaking of the lemonade, you've had some of yours, but those Sour Patch Kids, do you have any left there?
Throw me under the bus, why don't you? Jesus. We've seen a lot of contact tonight. Just put me out there. I have had, this is how much is left. I've had half a bag of Sour Patch Kids, my favorite candy. Thank you, Bob. And I've shared them with D'Lo. He's ate some as well. The blue, no, I ate the blue. He's eating the green and the yellow because I don't like the green and the yellow.
Is that why D'Lo's so hyper tonight?
He hasn't said a word. As you can see, the sugar doesn't bother him, but I've just been laughing in between commercials with you. So thank you for the lemonade. It's really contributed to my sugar high. And we'll continue to call the races.
I'll just say D'Lo, who is our producer up in the booth here.
Also blushing at the fact that we keep talking about him and looking at him.
He's cool under pressure. That's what I love. Cool under pressure. We'll just leave it at that.
Like a cucumber.
That's right. How is a cucumber? I've never understood that expression. I know cool is a cucumber.
Because cucumbers are cold.
Okay. If you put them in the fridge.
It's okay. I'm here for you anytime.
Thank you. Oh, everybody probably on social media saying, okay, they got giddy now. But we're just kind of killing time until we go back to green, which we'll do in one more lap. Blaze Sanders in the 44 car, that's AJ's son, is in the lead of this one. Zach Taylor in the 88 car is in the second spot. Chris Allison in Pintang, you gotta love old school cars like that. In that number 7 machine is in third. Patrick Mullen in the 20, a good-looking car in the 4th spot. In the 01 of Joel Stewart, 5th coming to this restart.
Green flag is gonna fly. The 44 on the hammer as they head into turns 1 and 2. The 88 trying to take advantage, gets a little sideways. That did not work.
Yeah, he kind of almost spun himself out there because he got into the back bumper of the 44 and then had so much wheel in the car, it just kind of jockeyed him sideways. Chris Allison in Pintang right on the back bumper of Taylor's 88. And I'm telling you, fastest car out there, I believe right now, Patrick Mullen in the number 20. Yellow flag does come out. We got one stopped on the outside of turn number 2. It's Colton Brown in the 46. There he is.
Colton Brown up against the outside wall in turn 2 right now. And track support gonna head over there, and it looks like he's fine. He fired off the 46. We got a young race fan right there. Let's see what happened here. Gets a little bit sideways. Contact. Oh, big contact.
Andre Chavez.
Ooh, that's stacking pennies right into the side of 46.
It's been a difficult day for Andre, by the way. Rookie competitor, and he got to the wall during practice earlier today and pulled off the racetrack. They got it repaired. He's back out there, and a little contact in his feature event.
Yeah, not what you want to happen here, but doesn't appear like there's any damage. I did talk to him a bit today. He's close friends with Tim Brown, and Tim helping him, talk to him a little bit, give him a little coaching. So we'll see.
I'd love to see Tim Brown back in a stadium stock. That would be fun.
Let's get him out here. Double duty.
That's right. Blaze Sanders, I believe, just to confirm this, I'm going to look over to Justin, looking for career win number 1 for Blaze Sanders. Indeed, he is.
All right.
So Zach Taylor in that second spot. Chris Allison third. Green flag is back out. Blaze is running a good race. Oh, that car shoves the nose a little bit there, though. And Zach Taylor not able to capitalize on that.
No, able to recover, which was good for the 44. Trying to create a bit of a gap between him and the second place. 8 laps in. That way, halfway, that time by. And here comes Pintang to the inside. That's 7 fighting for the second position.
Chris Allison in that old school looking car up to second. Got one more car to go after another victory. Patrick Mullen, a little contact with Zach Taylor. Taylor goes up the racetrack, going to lose a bunch of spots. Patrick Mullen now up to third.
Patrick Mullen taking advantage of the 88, throwing an anchor as he's sideways, gets a hit from behind. The number 01, Joel Stewart, slides to avoid him. They make contact as they settle in right there for the 7th position.
You remember that classic call by my brother a few years ago when Pintang won? We got a car that's up against the outside wall on the backstretch, a little bit slow right now. Will that bring out the caution? That's the big question right now. David Rose, in fact, it does bring out the caution, but you remember that call? He went crazy. Well, what I'm told is every time that Chris Allison gets near the lead, Matt has a notification that comes up on his phone. So I guarantee you Matt's there going to the Flow Racing broadcast while he's at Hickory tonight and watching Chris Allison to see if he can win.
I would say, he just texted, the March of Pintang. I would say, if that's the truth, Bob, a bit of an unhealthy relationship, okay? Was the air tag in that thing, that number 7? Like, I don't know. But the Pintang right there, sitting in the second position. Shout out, Pintang. I need to go sign that. Did Matt sign this? Has he signed it? Yes. Yes, Justin Mincy has confirmed. Hard shake of the head. What?
Also give you an update on Hickory. Rain out at Hickory tonight. It'll be a Sunday throwback classic. Racing starts at 1:30 p.m. You'll be able to watch it live on Flow Racing or get out to Hickory Motor Speedway and see the big high-dollar show. Back to green, Blaze Sanders. And here comes Patrick Mullen. Allison all over the back bumper of Blaze Sanders. This is going to be an interesting race here. Sanders shoves his nose high, opening up the door on the inside for Chris Allison.
Somewhere Matthew Dillner's losing his hair. Here comes the number 7, the Pintang. Looking to the inside, 44 closes the door. Not going to happen. Continues to hold the lead with 2 laps to go.
Yeah, this time by, they'll take the white flag. Time running out for Pintang. My brother's probably up on the edge of his seat wherever he's watching. Pintang goes to the outside. Now it's going to be an outside to in maneuver. But now Blaze Sanders able to keep it on the bottom. Chris Allison's got one more shot. Can he do it down in 3 and 4? Blaze Sanders, a winner now in the stadium stocks at Bowman Gray Stadium, just like his dad.
Hand out the window for the 44 of Blaze Sanders. Flag to flag for the 44 and gets his first win right here in this division.
Chris Allison congratulates him with a little tap to the back bumper and a thumbs up as he goes by Patrick Mullen. A congratulations to Blaze Sanders as well. This one is going to be another very emotional victory lane here because the Sanders family has been racing here for a long, long time. AJ Sanders, the kingpin of this division, and now his son gets the victory as his dad's about to come out on the racetrack and run his own feature here at Bowman Gray Stadium. Wow. This is going to be fun to watch. Blaze climb out of this race car, be victorious for the first time, and have a lot of fun. You know, I think that's going to be something that's going to be a very special moment. His first career win. You know, the Sanders family, just incredible. 83 career wins, which is 8th on the all-time family win list at Bowman Gray Stadium.
Straight into the field he goes in just a few weeks. This is going to be a football field. He's going to celebrate this one. This is special, getting your first win at Bowman Gray Stadium with a family full of legacy and history right here in Winston-Salem. Just 15 years old, he adds his name to the Sanders legacy.
Oh, and there is Dad AJ. AJ coming out to celebrate with his son. Pulls his number 24 car to victory lane. Dad's not going to miss out on this one. That's a special moment right there for the Sanders family. 15-year-old Blaze Sanders victorious. His dad, who is just so good at this racetrack with 67 career wins, pulls out to say, "Good job, kid." Here he comes. Here comes Dad to congratulate him. Let's go down to victory lane.
Happy tears down here in victory lane. Blaze Sanders. Blaze, congratulations. First win. You did it, my friend.
Yes, sir. Thank you. It's been a long time coming. I probably started about 3 years ago, and I've never won a race in my life. But I made a statement tonight. I was going to win it.
Well, Blaze, I got to ask you, with about 3 laps to go, when that caution flag came out, did it make you a little anxious?
Well, I really didn't want to see any of them, but yeah, that last one. But Chris is a good driver, and he drove me clean, and Patrick and all them, so that helped me a lot. Thank you for all of them to drive me clean. Thank you to all these fans out here. I want to thank Twin City Towing, Dean Street Service, Miller's Restaurant, Radical Race Gear for the scoot, NGI Graphics, Professional Flooring. That's about it. Oh, Carolina Travel Warranty, I can't forget her. She's the biggest supporter.
Blaze, congratulations.
And my mom and my dad.
His dad's crying right here with him in victory lane. Blaze, let's go over to the Carolina Wood Floors Winner's Circle to pick up a trophy.
With tears in Mom and Dad's eyes, Blaze Sanders makes history as the youngest stadium stock winner ever in the history of Bowman Gray Stadium. 15 years, 7 months, and 12 days. Congratulations. Now we'll see what Dad can do out on the racetrack in just a minute.
Starting 14th, after a couple of weeks off, the number 5 of Connor Keaton. Rolling off 13th, the car number 86 of Dakota Miller. Adam Peanut Baker starts 12th in the number 22. Rolling off 11th, the car number 18 of Billy Andrews. He's going to have to recover after a very emotional win by his son just a moment ago. But starting 10th, the car number 24 of A.J. Sanders. Starting 9th, the car number 60 of Brad Michalowski. Starting 8th is Grayson Keaton in the car number 1. Chuck Wild, the winner last Saturday night, the number 81 will roll off 7th. Starting 6th, the car number 2 of Carson Reed. Levi Holt in the 95 will roll off 5th. Luke Smith came in second in the point standings. He'll start 4th in the car number 80. Your leader coming into the night in the point standings, car number 43, Brandon Brindle, will start 3rd. Starting 2nd, car number 51 of Andrew Cates. And starting for on the point, the car number 47 of Tyler McDonald. That's your starting lineup for the second Q1 4.1 Stadium Stock 15 lapper.
One more to go tonight. Night number 13 for Bowman Gray Stadium and their NASCAR racing card. This place is special, and this next race is going to be a good one as well. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for this one. This guy had a bad run a couple of weeks ago, but man, he's been ultra consistent. Beyond that, 4th in points, Tyler McDonald in the 47 will lead the field to the green flag. On the outside, the 51 of Andrew Cates. That's a good ride there in the 51.
Looking at row number 2 in that inside lane, we have the 43 from Tobaccoville, North Carolina. We know him. It's Brandon Brindle. And to the outside, it's the number 80. It's Luke Smith.
Starting 5th tonight, the number 95. He won a B feature a couple of weeks ago. Levi Holt in that Lightning McQueen-looking race car. And to his outside, Carson Reed in the number 2.
Looking at row number 4 from Lexington, North Carolina, the 81 of Chuck Wall. And in the outside, the number 1, it's Grayson Keaton.
Starting 9th, number 60. Love this last name. Brad Michalowski, 6th in points. To his outside rounding out the top 10, A.J. Sanders, who just saw his son win the B feature. He's 3rd in points.
And how about row number 6 on the inside? The 18 of Billy Andrews and the 22 of Adam Baker.
Dakota Miller, one of the rookie competitors in the 86, and the 5 of Connor Keaton. The Keaton family name back here this week, and that's good to see after they missed the last couple of weeks here at Bowman Gray. Did some dirt racing, did the Keaton boys. A couple different racetracks, actually 3 different racetracks, I believe. It was Carolina. Help me out, Justin. Carolina.
You raced with them?
No, but the Keaton boys
have
been
they were racing
running. They left. Well, they've been dirt racing. That's all we need to know. They've been pretty good on the dirt, too, throughout their career. So McDonald on the front row with Andrew Cates of this one. We'll see what happens here because McDonald looking to get back to where he wants to be. Remember that disastrous run a couple of weeks ago, his only blemish really of the entire season. And right now, though, even though he's been consistent, he's still looking for win number 1 on the season, the driver of the 47. So here he comes. McDonald leads the field to the green flag and the A feature for the Stadium Stocks.
Great restart by the 47, but the 43 right behind him. That's your points leader, Brandon Brindle, followed by the 80 of Luke Smith settling in. That's your top three. Stacking up, though, behind. We've got contact, and one goes around.
Wow, surprise, though. A.J. Sanders able to thread the needle, but I believe that was Andrew Cates that winds up going around in the corner to bring out the caution. Indeed it is. So he goes from the outside of the front row and in one lap spun in turns 3 and 4.
Didn't seem like Cates got great momentum on that restart, so might have just been a bit of a domino effect once you fall back.
Why don't we look at the replay? You take me through what we saw on the racetrack by our Flow Racing cameras.
We'll see right here, actually going into turn 1, or no, this is turn 3 and 4. Shot on the inside. I don't know, the number 60, Miklowski. Yeah, never mind. I retract my original thought.
Yeah, I mean, I think it looked like Cates came down the racetrack a little bit. Miklowski already had his nose in there, so just tough contact down there for both of those drivers, but certainly for Andrew Cates, who had himself a good starting spot. By the way, I want to mention Brandon Brindle. So good this year with those 5 wins, but lately it's been just Mr. Consistency for him. 3 straight 4th place runs.
Oh.
So you can say, may the 4th be with you.
Yeah.
He's hoping to break that here tonight, though.
I don't know if anybody really wants to be in 4th place.
That's right. 2nd is bad enough. McDonald stands on the gas. We're back to green. Brindle in 2nd. Smith, 2nd place in points. So 1st and 2nd in points. 2nd and 3rd in this race early on. Levi Holt in 4th. Just got a shot by Wall in the 81.
Making their way around turns 3 and 4. 1 lap officially in the books now. The 47 continuing to hold the lead over Brandon Brindle, followed by Luke Smith.
A.J. Sanders slipped up just outside the top 5, almost allowed Miklowski to get underneath, and Miklowski made contact with A.J. Sanders. Good save by A.J.
Great save by him. Was sideways, almost 50% horizontally there for that number 24. But he's done this just a time or two in this division. Looking back up at the front of the field now, 11 laps to go, just a handful in the books. The 43 is going to peek down, not making his move just yet. Luke Smith hoping to make a move as well as they bide their time. 5 laps in.
By the way, Chuck Wall has moved up to 4th, got by Levi Holt. So Wall knows himself how to win a race here at Bowman Gray Stadium. Luke Smith gets into the back bumper of Brandon Brindle. So look out. 1st and 2nd in points, getting a little bit heated between those two.
Points are very important as we continue to move closer to closing out the 2025 season. It's pretty close in this field, especially 2nd on back in the standings. 1, 2, and 3 continues to stand still.
Luke Smith wants to pick up another victory. He's got 1, but the man in front of him has dominated. We are now halfway through this one. 15 laps the total distance, and Luke Smith is on a charge. Luke Smith gets into the back left rear quarter panel of Brindle. Brindle up the racetrack. Will that allow Luke Smith to get the spot? They make contact. Luke Smith saves it. No way.
Wow, great save by Luke Smith. Almost completely lost it and brought out another caution, but thank goodness he didn't at the 81, though. It gave him an advantage, Chuck Wall, to close the gap from 4th to 3rd place. He's looking to the back bumper of that 80. Now looking on further back, here's a battle with A.J. Sanders and the number 60 of Brad Miklowski, who's worked his way through the field just a tad.
Yeah, A.J. Sanders struggled a little bit last week, finished in 7th, struggling a little bit again here tonight. Miklowski gets into him, and Miklowski winds up turning A.J. Sanders. Yellow flag does come out as A.J. Sanders, the kingpin of the Stadium Stocks, is in the infield.
Caution flag flies right there with just 4 laps left to go in this feature event. That's going to make for a pretty heated restart right here as we'll get the field lined back up again. And we'll see just how this is going to unwind in our final feature event of the evening.
All right, driver, here's what I want to know. If you look at the 47 of Tyler McDonald, before we get to that, let's take a look at the replay of what happened between Michalowski and the 60, gets into Sanders, and then coming down the straightaway, Sanders just trying to save it. Michalowski a little bit tight coming off the corner. What's your thoughts?
Right here? I think we know what the thoughts are, Bob. I don't even have to say them. Are you saying what AJ is thinking? AJ is thinking, man.
You know, what are your thoughts on what transpired there?
I would say the 60 was trying to get around the 24, couldn't make hay. And so when we came around, 24 is a little bit loose, just going to take advantage of that.
So now we get back to racing again. McDonald trying to win his first race of the season, but he's got the division dominator right behind him in Brendel in that 43. Brendel does get a good run up off a 2 there. Can't pull alongside, though, as McDonald is holding the line nicely.
McDonald is doing a great job hitting his marks, trying not to make any mistakes, to bide back the field so that they do not get any sort of advantage to get around him. He's going to go into turns 3 and 4, meticulously hit the corner, the apex, and come right off and get that white flag this time by.
Brendel with Luke Smith on his back bumper. I don't think he's going to have a shot at Tyler McDonald. Luke Smith has been fast in that 3rd spot, but he won't get by Brendel. That's 1 and 2 in points, although he gives him a shot. Tyler McDonald wins his first of the year. Mr. Consistency finally gets it done. After that devastating incident a couple of weeks ago, it was his first finish outside the top 10 all year long, and now just a couple of races later, he goes back to victory lane. Tyler McDonald wins his 8th career race here at Bowman Gray Stadium. Always love looking at the body on this car, because it almost reminds me a little bit of a dirt car. Oh, Michalowski and Sanders gets into it. Now Sanders on the gas.
Oh, boy.
But they are stuck together. And Michalowski looks like he's getting out of the car. He's not happy.
Oh, boy, yeah. This is unwinding right here. This is at the exit of the track. This is where the cars all head to the pit area. Window net down on the 24. Arguing with the track crew member. Michalowski is going to exit out of the 60. Words are being exchanged as the 47 is going to complete Tyler McDonald's victory lap. Michalowski very unhappy with what's happening right now. Police is going to get involved as we have more crew members headed over.
Blaze Sanders coming to check on Dad as well. Blaze was just victorious in the first stadium stock win. And now you see a little
We got another
chaos.
crew. Yeah, we see another crew member over here continuing to exchange words. I'm not sure if that's crew for the 60, but they will have to move this car in order to get the rest of the field off of the track as well.
Oh boy. Tyler McDonald, meanwhile, is in victory lane for the 8th time in his career. He will climb out victorious as we keep our eyes peeled on what transpired between A.J. Sanders and Brad Michalowski in the 60 car as they entered the pit area. Let's go downstairs.
Win of the season. Tell you what, could have thrown a blanket over the top 3 there. You guys were really, really equal, it looked like.
Yeah, man, it's been a year. We've had a lot of good shots at it, just slipped from us every time. First year we've had all these sponsors on the car, and it's the first time we got them in victory lane, so let's give them a shout out. Triad Orthodontics. They do braces and stuff like that. Hit them up in Winston. MSC Iron, Backcountry Carts, McDonald's Motors, Rapid Fire Protection, Triad Paving, Arnold Automotive, and Elizabeth's Pizza. I'd like to thank the good Lord for letting us be here tonight and all the fans that stayed to watch.
Congratulations on that first win of the season, number 8 in your Bowman Gray career. How about going over there and picking up a winner's trophy from the Carolina Wood Floors Winner's Circle? Carolina Wood Floors, open your doors to beautiful floors at Carolina Wood Floors. Tyler and his crew will also pick up 4 of those delicious.
So interesting circumstances. Tyler McDonald celebrates the victory, but now trying to clean things up here in turn number 3, where apparently A.J. Sanders and Michalowski got together. Let's see what happened. There is A.J. Sanders in the 24, maybe not happy with Michalowski, gets into the back bumper and lifts that car off the ground.
Okay. Well, yes, this is why the 60 was so upset.
Yes. So
now it's making sense.
Don't know what transpired prior to that, but both of those guys with high emotion here after the race tonight, after everything is concluded. And remember, poor AJ.
Oof.
I mean, think about it. He's mad, okay?
Yeah.
Who knows who was at fault there? But AJ had just celebrated his son's first career win at 15 years old, and now he's getting into another car after the race. You never know what's going to happen at Bowman Gray.
I mean, that right there, though, right? You're exiting the track. To me, anything that happens post-race, you're exiting the track, you're driving to your trailer, right?
And now they have cars
not
to
great.
fix. Both
yeah,
of those drivers.
not great. That was a hard hit.
Yes,
hit.
Absolutely.
Some drivers unbuckle right there. Not saying you should, but
True.
they do.
You saw the winners, by the way.
Yep.
Danny Bone capturing the 100-lap modified race. Zach Orr and Amber Lynn winning in the sportsman class. Stadium stock. Blaze Sanders and Tyler McDonald and Brad Lewis. So that was a long time ago, but Brad Lewis getting the win in the street stock. So we had a good time here tonight. Nice to have you back. Here's what we have coming up at Bowman Gray Stadium. Twin 50s for the Mod Squad next week. That is always a very unique event. Matthew Dillner, James Pike will be back in the booth for you next week. Both of those guys love Bowman Gray Stadium. And then, Jacqueline, you'll be back on August 16th for the Twin Modified 25s.
Yeah, we got 3 more weeks left right here at Bowman Gray Stadium Racing. And you guys, if you think that tonight had some drama, it's only going to get more heated as we head over to the season finale night on August the 23rd.
So, folks, we really appreciate you watching here tonight with our Flow Racing broadcast. Spread the news. Let people know that this is a fun broadcast, and there's always plenty of drama. So, on behalf of Jacqueline, Justin Mincy, Elgin Trailer, Sammy, Viv, Donald Dunkley, that's Justin Mincy over there, Will, Sarah, Lucas Kaler, D-Lo, and everybody else involved with this broadcast, I'm Bob Dillner saying congratulations to all the winners here tonight. And Matthew and James, we'll see you next week from Bowman Gray Stadium right here at the Madhouse.